Today95.1 FM, voice of the people.
And we're back.
I don't have to, because there were other voices now on the social media, not only that. So I didn't even have to reply to anything. Other people have spoken on my behalf. I didn't go to arise to please government or to just please people, but to tell the truth. That's all I stand for. I cannot be embarrassed. I'm 82 years old. Nobody can embarrass me. And I'm not afraid of anybody. Nobody at this stage. Are they going to arrest me? I can carry me to where? And we are still lucky in this Nigeria. We can still talk. We should not take that for granted. There are many countries in Africa where no bishop dares to talk like we do here. That we can still talk, and all they do is to insult you. They don't carry you and lock you off in an unknown dungeon. That means we're not doing badly.
You have religious leaders like...
No, mind you, I didn't talk on my own now. I spoke on behalf of my fellow bishops. We drafted a statement. We contain all that I said in the interview. So all the bishops of Nigeria spoke that way. It was their voice I was echoing. And each of them are free to say the same thing in their dioceses. And they are doing it. I cannot speak on behalf of other religious leaders. Everybody have their own job to do. But many of the other religious leaders have supported us. We cannot start telling all those who have been supporting us and say, yes, what we said represents what everybody else, what they themselves do. Non-Catholic leaders, Muslim leaders, they have also spoken. When it comes to what is happening to Nigeria, the poverty, the suffering, we are all the same boat now. Abi. Thank you.
If it's a credible, free and fair election, I assure you, Tinubu would lose. No, I won't say it before 12 noon. Maybe before 4 p.m. in the evening. I would always speak about President Tinubu. If I was President Tinubu, I would be at that event yesterday for so many reasons. One, just 2 weeks ago, Tinubu was defending INEC. He was saying, no, INEC hasn't done anything wrong in public. INEC has done anything wrong in that. Yes, the president should not defend INEC. He appoints in conjunction with the National Assembly.
What does that defend?
Nobody should praise INEC until it could actually conduct an election in which the president is a contestant.
Is there an implication of the president defending INEC?
Yes.
What does it mean?
It is wrong, it is unbecoming, and it's unnecessary. And all it does is that it creates this idea that the president is quoting the goodwill of INEC. It's wrong.
One of the problems we have in our country today is too much of attachment to certificates. I was a teacher before I became a treasury officer. Later, now a politician governor. I understand the importance of well-planned education. The idea behind the 6334 system was more importantly to the technical education, where the polytechnics falls in. The idea or the philosophy behind it was, after your 6 years, you have opportunity for the first 3 years. That first 3 years in the secondary school, you learn integrated science. In integrated science, you have your physics, you have your chemistry, you have your biology. We have what they call Introtech then. In Introtech, you have the other aspects of the technical or craft learning. In your 3 years in that section, you're expected to go through what they call junior WAEC. In the junior WAEC, it's expected that if you cannot go further, you should continue with the polytechnic aspect. And the polytechnic aspect is, if you're gifted with your hand, if you're a technical person, you can go there and build. You can go there and understand more so that you can add value to our system. But our society somehow doesn't attach importance to those level of people. So even when you know you can't survive, you put your head, you struggle to make sure you complete the 6 years, jump into one university, come out to one degree that is not useful. That is part of the problem we're having in our society. And for us as a government, what is important to us is not just about embarking on projects, but projects that will touch the life, projects that will solve problems, projects that will bring advancements in our lives. I personally took it upon myself to say that if I have to do anything here, it should be something that will have value. And I'm very happy that the management of this school appreciates it. Today, what is the purpose of the Entrepreneurial Center? It is a place where we prepare our own people. When you're through with that, you create your own business. You don't need to start sending letters. You don't need to start sending me texts that I promised 10,000 employment of civil servants. 10,000 employment of civil servants of who? Admin officer. We're talking about technical issues. We need doctors. We need teachers. Well-prepared teachers. If we employ you, we need accountants. Accountants can't even be everywhere. Technology has taken over everything. Today, what you just need is to get the right app. Put in your numbers, your balance sheet or whatever statement is prepared. That is how the world has gone to. So if we have to prepare our youth, if we have to prepare our dear states for the challenge ahead, our program has to be very strategic. So I have to say that I'm very happy that the little thing we're able to do here is really, really appreciated. I would also want to appeal to the school authority here. You also solved my problem when you said Rome was not built in a day. So therefore, borrowing from that, you know that all your requests I can attend to it. But the most important thing is that we have done something. We also try to see any other thing we can add to what we have already done for you. To our dear people of Obiakpo, this is a very special LGA that gave me this opportunity. Maybe it's an opportunity for me to say thank you again. I will continue to be grateful for this wonderful opportunity you will give to me. Just go home and rest. When the time comes, I will give you the right support to make sure that you understand how passionate I am with this LGA. We have not gone into politics. When we go into politics, we will talk politics. But for now, let me, on behalf of the government and the very, very supportive people of River State, say a big thank you to the wonderful people of Obiakpo. Please, this project belongs to you. This project belongs to the school authority. This project belongs to the students. Protect it. Use it judiciously. Don't say it is government thing. By tomorrow you go and steal the ACs. You steal the furniture. You vandalize the place. It is your own. Protect it. I would want to say on a final note, there is every need for everyone to abide by this peace. Without peace, we will not be here to inaugurate this project. And I'm happy that we have gotten that state of rest in our dear state. And what we are doing with the remaining time we have is to make sure we write our name, we start our foot in the sand of time. So that when we are no more here, people can look at and say, yes, this were the little things, but very significant, that this administration did for the great people of River State.
All right, welcome again. The newspaper review segment, today's quest, Today 95.1 FM. Yeah, not as many as yesterday, but lengthy inserts this morning. The longest one being from the Ministry of Finance Minister Taiwo Idele, all the plenty. And when I listened to it, they said they're doing scorecard. So I listened to it. I said, Kelly, you're first a servant of the people. Repeat after me. You're first a servant of the people. So it is not about you. It is about them. So play the thing and listen to it. I said, child, God, which kind of life it is? So I now played it and I listen. I listen. I say, mark here. Now cut it. These parts we feel are relevant for the people. So edit, put it together and share with them. It's your job, it's your duty. So Chim. So I now did that. Saved it and played it. It's information. I have given you the information. Scorecard, Ministry of Finance. They say they remove how much from subsidy, where the subsidy went to. That's all I can say. Governor Ademola Adeleke of Osun State was at the INEC office to receive his certificate of return. So you listen to remarks there. You also listen to the, I think, zonal head of INEC, who was present there. The later part of that speech, which you heard after the governor's remarks when he sang the song that he sang. Of course, for some of you will be wondering, who is this? The moment he started singing, like, oh, that's Ademola Adeleke and stuff. So I also talked about Plan, a fund for those that lost their lives, their children, to receive education in the Ademola's or the Adeleke's institutions. So you listen to that, you listen to Cardinal Onaikon responding to all of the criticisms and the arrows that were aimed at him when he made those remarks. What's striking for me is he actually said that he was speaking for the bishops say he was speaking for the bishops. But he did acknowledge that, even for anything, nobody has killed him, nobody has arrested him. And he's 82. But what would they do to him? That we should be thankful that around here, at least we have freedom of speech. So you can talk, you can criticize, and nobody is coming after you. That's something I usually say as well, that is obtainable in this our democracy. It's not everything we wanted, but at least we have something to hold on to. So Cardinal Onaikon speaking there, and Baba Ahmed claiming that Tinubu by 4 p.m. on election day would have lost the election. So may I ask the question? I simply just ask the question, right? I think it's something that we could just do a quick response to. Is this even possible in 2027? Is this even possible? I'm not speaking of the possibility in terms of whether Tinubu can lose the election. I'm speaking of the possibility 4 p.m. I'm not sure they'll be done by collating the results by 4 p.m. So is he saying that by a huge margin by 4 p.m. Tinubu would have known that he has lost the election in this country? That's why I asked the question, is this even possible in 2027? So you listen to Baba Ahmed, Hakim Baba Ahmed, who is the national chairman of the People's Redemption Party, PRP. I think it's People's Redemption Party, PRP, where Donald Duke is the presidential candidate of the party. And then lastly, Governor Fubara was at the Captain Elechi Amadi Polytechnic, Rumola, where he inaugurated some facilities at the Polytechnic and made certain promises to them, talked about plans for the education sector and so on and so forth. Yeah, all of those out of the way. There's news from US and Trump, but perhaps we'll leave it for another day. We'll have a number of stories to race through. We'll do our best to keep things tight and simple. All right, Kelly's my name. Welcome again to the Newspaper Review segment. We always like to hear from you, and there are avenues where if you're not listening through the terrestrial radio, you can join, using digital avenues. On YouTube, you can watch us live. On Twitch, you can stream. All right, on Twitch, you can stream Today FM 951. Today FM 951. You can also stream on our website, todayfmlive.com, todayfmlive.com on our website, via TuneIn and Radio Garden apps. TuneIn and Radio Garden apps. Search for Today95.1 FM, Today95.1 FM. So those are your streaming options. On YouTube, it's Today951 FM. YouTube, Today951 FM. So YouTube shares same ID with Facebook. Instagram, X, Threads share same ID with Twitch. Instagram, Threads, X share same ID with Twitch. On Facebook and X, you would find the post for Opinion Poll. Of course, Opinion Poll is a statement from Hakim Baba Ahmed on Tinubu losing before 4 p.m. Somebody responded with a message on X and said, in fact, by 1 p.m., Tinubu would have lost the election. 1 p.m. when voting is still on, 1 p.m., Tinubu would have lost the election. So, yeah, there you have it. I'd like to hear what you think about that. So, Facebook and X, you would find a post for Opinion Poll and the general post. Those are your channels. To call us, 0810951091. Again, 0810951091. So that you can call us with 0701-9339-962, 0701-9339-962 to send messages to us, traditional SMS, text via the WhatsApp channel, and then voice message. Limit to 60 seconds, please. Limit to 60 seconds and get that across to us via WhatsApp, same number. Let's begin. Some of the stories we were unable to read yesterday, we'll race through them today. Hopefully we can keep this neat and tidy in 15 minutes. Daily Post. Kanu writes CJN. Court of Appeal President demands urgent hearing of cases. The family of the convicted leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, disclosed that he has written to the Chief Justice of Nigeria and the President of the Court of Appeal demanding the immediate listing and hearing of his pending cases. The family, in a statement issued on Tuesday by the Oku Kanu family, says the move followed what it describes as the federal government's failure to file substantive responses in the two proceedings despite the passage of several months. According to the family, Kanu commenced proceedings before the Supreme Court on November 7, 2025, challenging the legality of the Apex Court's decision of December 15, 2023 remittal judgment. It said the federal government was duly served but had, according to records available to the family, not filed a substantive response or caused the case to be listed for hearing more than 9 months later. The family equally disclosed that Kanu has a separate appeal before the Court of Appeal, challenging his November 20, 2025 conviction and life sentence. The family questioned what it describes as the disparity in the speed with which the judiciary acted when the federal government sought to prevent Kanu's release in 2022 and the pace of proceedings concerning his current bid for freedom. There you have it. Tinubu appoints Abel Eniton, head of civil service of the Federation. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has appointed Mr. Abel Eniton as the head of the civil service of the Federation effective August 27, 2026. It's contained in a statement by Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Byron Anuga, released yesterday. Eniton is replacing Mrs. Didi Esther Wilson-Jack, who is set to retire from the Federal Civil Service upon attaining the statutory retirement age of 60. The new head of the Civil Service of the Federation is currently the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Education. This is duty, not idiotic. Ogun, NDLEA commander fires back at Shore. What did Shore say? You know, Shore has been one of those persons advocating that cannabis be legalized. That cannabis be legalized. We'll talk about this today. We had this conversation on one of our agri shows, right? On our agri show. Yeah, we have one agri show. So on our agri show here, and the overwhelming majority that contributed that day said this is going to be a danger to us as a people, because when it comes to regulations, we would have huge lapses and it's just going to spiral out of control. Well, Shore continues to insist maybe if he becomes president someday, he may legalize, you know, my God. The commander of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, in Ogun State, CN Tijani Rabe, has fired back at popular human rights activist and presidential candidate of the African Action Congress, AAC, Omoyele Sowore, over his criticism of the agency's anti-drug operations. Rabe asserts that leadership cannot be built on insults against institutions that sacrifice daily for this country. Well, that's a certain someone's style. You know they had them to abuse you. Recall that Sowore in a post on X on Tuesday faulted the agency for destroying cannabis farms, describing it as an economically viable crop. He asked the government to legalize and regulate the cultivation of the plant to harness its medicinal and industrial potential rather than destroying it. It is idiotic at NDLEA Nigeria. Wake up, put on uniforms, march into farms, and set economically viable crops with millions of dollars ablaze while your country is drowning in multidimensional poverty. So is it marijuana farms that is going to give us the wealth that we're looking for? Stop destroying cannabis farms. Stop wasting enormous economic opportunities in the name of a failed and outdated policy. The commander of narcotics, in a statement on Wednesday, noted that while Sowore calls the agency foolish, Nigerians are witnesses to the NDLEA's record in the last 5 years. Said the agency has made monumental seizures of illicit drugs and stopped tons from getting into homes, schools, barracks, and motor parks. NDLEA did not wake up and decide to set farms ablaze for sport. We act on a clear mandate given to us by the laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. You cannot seek to be commander-in-chief and in the same breath denigrate the men and women who serve under that command. Beyond enforcement, Rabi says the NDLEA has cancelled and rehabilitated thousands of young Nigerians and dismantled transnational cartels that fund kidnapping, banditry, and arms trafficking with drug proceeds. Rabi argues that if Sowore disagrees with the law, the democratic path is to sponsor a bill to change it, not resort to abuse. So, if you disagree with the law, the democratic path is to sponsor a bill to change it, not to resort to abuse. NDLEA and indeed all law enforcement agencies deserve better, especially from those who aspire to lead. Yes, we're grappling with poverty, but we're also grappling with addiction, mental illness, and insecurity that illicit drugs worsen. We cannot solve one crisis by deepening another. Legalization without strong guardrails, proper tracking, prescription monitoring, laboratories, and rehabilitation centers will only expand the black market. So he says, economically viable farms, according to Sowore as reference, are controlled by armed networks linked to trafficking and violence. To legalize now is to hand legitimacy to those networks. You do not defeat poverty by empowering cartels. Until the foundation exists, NDLEA will continue to do what the law demands of it. Interdict, destroy, and save lives. This is not idiotic, sir. That is duty. Oh, well said. The commander added that while the agency would excuse the tone, it remains grateful to the millions of Nigerians who support its work. Very gracious statement, in my opinion. The video clarifies alleged attack on Adeleke's convoy. That's one of the biggest stories on the tabloids this morning. Afrobeat superstar David Adeleke, popularly known as Davido, has clarified the alleged attack on the convoy of Governor Ademola Adeleke. It was reported that some hoodlums engaged in a gun battle with security personnel attached to the governor's convoy at the palace of the Ataoja of Oshobo, Oba Jimmy Oyitunji on Wednesday. It was shortly after Adeleke received his certificate of return from the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, and visited the palace to celebrate his victory with the traditional ruler. However, in a post on X, that's on Davido's verified X handle, he admitted that there was a fight outside the palace of the monarch they visited. Well, that's not what the police is saying. It says lies. It was a fight outside the palace that had nothing to do with us. The people love His Excellency. Well, there are those that lost too that won't be very happy. So, 2027 presidency, Tinubu will lose by 4 p.m. on election day. Akim Baba Ahmed, we listened to him, was on Channel TV yesterday. Oh yeah, I was correct. People's Redemption Party. So that's pretty much what the story is about. Coordinate 5-year national security threat assessment, defense plan. Tinubu to Homeland Security Chief. President Bola Tinubu has approved the immediate preparation of a comprehensive national threat assessment and a rolling 5-year strategic defense operations plan to strengthen coordination across Nigeria's defense, intelligence, and security capabilities. The president said through his special advisor and Homeland his special advisor on Homeland Security, Major General Adeyinka A. Famadewa, will coordinate and provide sectoral support for the 11-man committee the president constituted to draft the Strategic Defense Operations Plan. A statement by Tinubu spokesperson Bayo Nanuga says other members of the committee are the National Security Advisor, Malam Nuhu Ribadu, Minister of Defense, General Christopher Musa, Minister of State for Defense, Alhaji Bello Muhammad Matawali, Chief of Defense Staff, General Olufemi Oluide, Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Waidi Shwaibu, Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sunday Kelvin Aneke, and the Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Idi Abbas. The Director General of the State Security Services, Tosi Ajayi, and the Director General of the National Intelligence Agency, Ambassador Mohammed are also members of the committee. According to the statement, President Tinubu gave the directive on Wednesday at the Federal Executive Council meeting, State House, stressing the need for a coherent framework to respond to evolving security threats nationwide. The president said the new framework will provide a common understanding of the threats facing the nation, the operational objectives to be achieved, and the capabilities required to address them. Recent security successes, including rescue of pupils and teachers abducted in the local government area of Oyo State, demonstrate the importance of improved coordination among defense, security, and intelligence agencies. The operation demonstrated what can be achieved when our agencies work together with a clear objective and the necessary intelligence. All right. Tribune was to read this yesterday. Let's do it. Fact, FG states LG's share 3 trillion July revenue. The Federation Account Allocation Committee, FAC, approved the disbursement of a total of 3 million and some fractions. That's to the federal government, the 36 state governments, and 774 local government councils as revenue for July 2026. At a meeting held in Owerri, Imo State, FAC said the federal government received a total of 1.146 trillion naira, while the state governments received 943 billion naira. Local government councils received 673 billion naira. A total of 243 billion, representing 13% of mineral revenue, was also shared with the benefiting states as derivation revenue. According to a statement by Bawa Mukwa, Director of Press and Public Relations, Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, the month's figures point to strengthening underlying revenue base. Gross statutory revenue rose 4 trillion in July 2026, up 658 billion naira, or 17.8%, from 3.7 trillion in June 2026, reflecting improved collection performance across oil and non-oil statutory sources. Gross VAT, that's value-added tax revenue, held broadly steady at 793 billion naira, and a marginal decline of 5 billion with some fractions, or 0.7%, from 799 billion in June, suggesting consumption tax receipts remain resilient month on month. The statement equally noted that the FAC session discussed the state of the economy, fiscal governance, federal and subnational fiscal fitness. Oshun, Jonathan frowns at governors, others convening on states during off-cycle elections. Former President Goodluck Jonathan criticized the growing practice of 7 governors, senior political office holders, and other influential political actors convening on states during off-cycle elections, warning that the trend could undermine Nigeria's democratic stability. Jonathan made the call in a statement on the recent Osun State governorship election, where he commended INEC, security agencies, political parties, and the people of the state for their peaceful conduct during the polls. Let me see if I can take exacts if they did that. All right. The conduct witnessed around recent elections in Osun, Ekiti, and Ondo State was, in my view, unusual. It is not a practice that should become normal in a democratic society. I recall, as president, similar situations arose during the 2013 Anambra and 2014 Ekiti governorship elections. On those occasions, senior political leaders mobilized and descended upon the states. Upon being briefed, I ordered party leaders and senior government officials to leave the states immediately. This trend is unwholesome. If left unchecked, it could threaten our fragile democracy and have serious long-term implications for democratic stability. Political parties are entitled to campaign, mobilize their supporters, and deploy their legitimate party structures. This is an essential part of democracy. However, there is a point at which political mobilization, particularly when it involves the overwhelming presence of 7 governors, senior public officials, and powerful political actors from across the country on election day, can create an atmosphere of apprehension, intimidation, bullying, and undue pressure. We must ask ourselves whether the increasing deployment of political power and large-scale mobilization by senior office holders on election day in states holding elections is consistent with the spirit of free, fair, and peaceful democratic competition. This hardly happens in other democratic countries. We must not allow political competition to become a contest in which victory is perceived as something that must be achieved at all costs. There is also the question of precedent. If the current trend becomes established, what happens when governors from opposing political parties begin to descend on every state holding a competitive election? What happens when each party seeks to match political power with political power, and governmental influence with governmental influence, and mobilization with counter-mobilization? Such a development would not strengthen our democracy. It would deepen political tensions and could make elections increasingly resemble battles for political survival rather than peaceful contests for the mandate of the people. The statement reads partly. Continue on, Jonathan called on the National Peace Committee to convene a stakeholders meeting to examine emerging practices surrounding elections and establish acceptable standards for political conduct. It said the proposed engagement should include the leadership of registered political parties, INEC, relevant security agencies, National Assembly, the Nigerian Bar Association, NBA, and Nigeria Governors Forum, civil society organizations, and the media. An early national conversation can help us establish appropriate boundaries and expectations for political conduct before practices that are unusual today become accepted as normal tomorrow. All right. FD saved 15.8 trillion naira from fuel subsidy removal. That's Taiwo Idile, the Minister of Finance, his remarks. That's what this story is about. And some of the other things he said. Some of those things are not even in this story. So some papers have coined those as separate stories with separate headlines. Yeah? The video was target of Osun convoy attack. So this is the police account of what happened in Osun State. Osun State Police commanders disclosed that music star David Adeleke, popularly known as Davido, was a target of the attack that disrupted the convoy of Osun State Governor Ademola Adeleke in Osogbo on Wednesday. The incident occurred during the governor's visit to the palace of what I mentioned, following his receipt of certificate of return from INEC. Davido, who played an active role in the election campaign, accompanied the governor to both the INEC office and the monarch's palace alongside members of his family. Speaking on the incident, Police Public Relations Officer in Osun State, Abiodun Ojelabi, said preliminary findings indicated that suspected members of the, this is Aye, I hope I get that correctly, Aye confraternity were allegedly attempting to reach Davido. One, Adebayo Taurid, popularly known as Small Rugged, an ex-convict, a suspected notorious thug, and a member of the Aye confraternity allegedly attempted to gain access to the video, but was resisted by members of his security team. The ensuing confrontation reportedly attracted other suspected gang members in the vicinity who temporarily blocked the entrance to the palace and obstructed the movement of the convoy of the governor. The police spokesperson said the violence claimed the life of a 60-year-old man, Tajuddin Yusuf, who was caught in the aftermath of the clash. Shortly afterwards, the suspected gang members reportedly departed the vicinity, and however, on their way, they shot Tajuddin. Okay, on their way, they shot the man. Upon receiving the information, police immediately and this is the part I always like in the statement. Upon receiving the information, police immediately mobilized the patrol team to the scene, where the victim was found lying in a pool of blood. He was promptly rushed to the hospital, University Teaching Hospital, Shobo, for medical attention. Unfortunately, he was pronounced dead by the doctors on duty. Ojulabi says detectives have launched an extensive investigation and are working to identify and arrest those responsible for the attack. All right. We're not here in Nigeria to support any party or candidates. EU statement, I think this one you can read for yourself by now, the remarks made during the peace accords ceremony. The cable, underperforming discos, Gencos will be penalized, says Tegbe. It's an interesting story, but I have to roll this over for another day, another time. Tinubu orders funds recovered by EFCC channeled to NEL Fund. President Bola Tinubu has directed that all funds recovered by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, will be channeled to the Nigerian Education Loan Fund, NEL Fund. Tunji Alausa, Minister of Education, spoke on Wednesday during a press briefing at the State House shortly after the Federal Executive Council meeting. Okay, so I'm sure we'll get to hear him speak on this issue. So let's just roll it over. We'll get that clip and we'll share that clip with you. This day newspaper, Fobara, Nigeria must prioritize technical skills over paper qualifications. We listened to him speak yesterday at the Captain Elechi Amadi Polytechnic. And then Premium Times. Defense Minister meets protesting military veterans, promises improved pension package. After that protest yesterday, which I hear has now been suspended, Minister of Defense Christopher Musa met with retired military personnel who staged protests earlier yesterday to demand a consequential adjustment of their pension. Premium Times reported that the veterans in their numbers attempted to demonstrate their dissatisfaction at the Ministry of Defense, but were stopped by seven security personnel. The retired officers lamented the state of the economy, noting that the government excluded them from the recent salary increment for the military. This, they argued, violated their constitutional and legal rights. They pleaded for the intervention of the president, and Mr. Musa saying their active 35 years of service shouldn't be rewarded with neglect and poor welfare. So during the meeting, which the ministry described as a courtesy visit by the veterans, the minister, represented by the ministry's permanent secretary, acknowledged the immense sacrifices and distinguished service of Nigeria's military veterans. He added that their welfare remains a priority of the government. According to him, the veterans' concerns are receiving urgent attention, with relevant military, pension, and financial authorities being engaged to achieve a fair, sustainable, and implementable resolution that ensures veterans are not unfairly disadvantaged. All right, Daily Trust, this article story, maybe a slice of history, and then on Icon saying I'm 82, not afraid of anyone. On Icon, which we'll listen to. Those are the stories under review or for review this morning. Let's just begin. Let me introduce Dr. Fineface Jumnamene Fineface, Executive Director, Youth and Environmental Advocacy Center, YIC Nigeria. Morning, sir. Welcome.
Good morning to you, Kelly. Good morning, everyone.
And Mr. Emmanuel Indukwe, who's our in-house analyst. Good morning, sir. Welcome.
Good morning, Kelly. Good morning, Nigeria.
So, in Rivers State here, I've been listening to the news this morning. The one I read, the one I listened to. There's a lot of shooting going on in the state.
Which part of the state, Kelly?
There's one in Ogoni. I heard that one of the aides to Sikana
Council chairman.
Yes, gone down. Someone with him was also gone down. Some, whether they are security boys or they are louts or thugs, went to Alu and burnt down the home of a chieftain of the ADC. Another one where a community in, I think it's Rumewo, the chiefs were here yesterday on area talk. the CDC has come out to accuse them that they're the ones masterminding the crisis in the community. All they're saying, everything they're saying is they have guns. They all have guns. This one said they have guns. The other one, they went to the home, brought out the people from their homes, were shooting and burning houses. That's how guns are everywhere in your state, Dr. Finefield. Boys have guns everywhere.
I'm surprised to hear that, and it's unfortunate. And, when you have things like this, it's always very challenging because the system, sometimes they tell us that they are armed by politicians during elections, but when the elections are over, they are not disarmed. The guns are not retrieved, and the youths use it to, do a lot of dirty things.
So,
like
so
what
you
we
are
are
confirming
saying
that
now.
they have guns, so
You can see that they are telling us they have, because some of the killings that we have experienced so far, the one in Kana you mentioned,
and there was one
and all
2
of
weeks
that.
ago. There was one 2 weeks ago.
In Kana again.
One later that was killed now.
Yeah, exactly. So that means that there are, these small arms and light weapons are in the hands of non-state actors, and they are wielding it as they like. And this is very dangerous ahead of the 2027 general elections, because if the youth have these guns and politicians are aware they have it, because they have often alleged that they got it from politicians, it means that they will use these arms now to negotiate their participation in the elections, to provide security for some candidates. And before you know, it becomes a violent election, because as we speak, what happened in Osun State is already spiraling across the country. People are already looking at it, so it's becoming a do or die affair. And I think what we are seeing now is a very great sign, I must say, Kelly. And in fact, similar thing happened. I think I recall sometimes in 2018. I was in the United States, and my community guide, my country guide was like going there. He's going to, shooting range. Like, he wants to go and shoot gun. I said, you want to shoot gun? I said, guns are available here under license. So I told him I've not touched a gun before all my life. He said, what? You haven't? Let's go to shooting range. That was where I touched gun for the first time in my entire life, going to shooting range. But my $40 I spent for bullet to just shoot it, that is still paying me till today. Because he assured me of refund.
And he did not?
But he didn't refund me.
So
it's unfortunate, and I think the police should take steps here, the DSS should take steps here, and we will continue to advocate, for the youths to lay down their arms and give peace a chance, because sometimes when we are aggrieved, especially those that has led to assassination, like in Kana, we've seen, and some of other parts, go and use the legal way of seeking redress. Go to courts. I know that the courts are not helping matters in most cases, but you still have to go to court. That's what the society says. We must not take the laws into our hands, because the person you have shot down, I don't know whether it should have been the next president of Nigeria, next governor of the state, next council chairman, and all of that. So we must try to avoid having arms.
It could have just been someone that existed, probably had children that they can't even take care of.
You can't tell. You just can't tell.
Yeah, you are looking at the price. I'm also looking at the other side. There are two sides to this thing. So
and maybe the children would have given birth to may have been governor, president, or council chairman, or captains of industry.
Some of them may have been waywards. You really cannot tell. But taking a life the way they take a life in, like the way I'm hearing in the news, I'm like, only yesterday campaigns officially began. Yesterday, they don't shoot anyhow. You just say people are dying in River State. When police says we are investigating, are you assured?
Well, let's pretend to be assured, because we don't have another police force in Nigeria. But we have not seen reports of some of those investigations.
So let's pretend to be assured.
And it's just unfortunate.
Let's pretend to be assured. Mr. Andy.
Well, Kelly, when I hear issue of guns and all that, because I know they exist in every state, it's not only River State, in every state. Maybe whenever it reaches the time for them to be out, they'll be out. Not only small arms and light weapons, no. Whenever it is the occasion that will demand the type of gun they will use. Remember, they have suppliers. The boys that go and shoot don't have money to buy a single gun. Those big wigs that buy the gun for them can buy anyone. So I know, when they tell me every time the presidential candidates or the governorship candidates have signed peace accord, I laugh. What kind of peace accord? If Nigerians were people that are sincerely ready to go on a peace journey, nobody will be signing peace accord. Because it's become a sing-song. Every election, they will sign peace accord. And later on, you will see war accord. Because that's what will be in exhibition. For me, I really don't know. I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised because that's exactly what happens. Every election, a lot of people die.
Could these killings be election related?
Yes, of course. It's a build up to the election. The elections are here. Like we noted, I think presidential and the National Assembly election campaign, according to INEC timetable, began yesterday. And that is a sign to tell you that we are on the ground. You know, we've talked about the commodification of cultism, and these cult groups are always armed. And when they show that they are on the ground, showing supremacy and demonstrating supremacy, you know, politicians will go and look after them and look for them. And then before you know, they engage them to support them during elections. So is politically motivated and related, and more of this may come up in the days ahead. And it's a very clear sign that Rivers State may be one of the red flag states in 2027.
The usual suspects.
Yeah, and I think we should be able to not let this happen. Rivers is a great state, and we must be able to stop violence when it comes to election time and vote according to how. Look at what happened in Osun State. Very mild or little, almost zero security threats. Almost zero.
No, that was on the day of the election.
Yeah, almost zero.
In the build up to the election, over 50 people were reported to have been killed.
Is that so? So maybe I didn't get that part. I didn't get that part of it. So
that's why the governor announced that he's establishing a trust to take care of the education of their children.
Okay, that's beautiful. We shouldn't have that in Rivers State. We should be a model to other states.
It's all right.
I mean, don't die now. Mr. Ndoko, you think it's election related, the violence?
Not totally. Because some will be maybe violence, robbery, and all the rest of them. Yeah, because, there's one problem we have in this country. Like when you hear herdsmen, farmers are clashing, all that. There are those who will come out on a robbery expedition.
To capitalize on that.
Simple. And whatever happens, they will tell you it's herdsmen. There are those who also are going around performing robbery, maybe at the highest level, and killing people. But now that the campaign has been declared, you say, it's politicians. So all odds and the badness are exhibiting itself through these killings.
Well, in one of the news items I listened to, the mother of the ADC chieftain was narrating, and one of the things she said was, we told your son not to leave our group. He left our group to go and join the ADC. Why would he leave our group to go and join the ADC? He will not function if he's not back in our group.
It's possible, and that is why we must look at some of these threats to, being linked to politics, and it's politically, related. Because I saw on social media the ADC governorship candidate in Rivers State, Dr. Bidomson, visiting that family. I saw pictures of some of those things. So I think it is a way of silencing other political parties, in the state. And right now in Rivers State, we have candidates on about 5-6 political platforms. We have on APC, PDP, NDC, ADC, and all of that. All of these people are supposed to have a level playing ground to campaign and do something. We saw what happened in 2023 as well, whereby those who never belonged to the PDP at the time were not allowed to campaign. We also saw what happened in I think, that was in 2023, where you have to pay some amount of money before you are officially allocated a place to campaign and all of that.
Non-refundable security
fee and all of that. We don't expect that under, Sinfubara, but then at the community level, what are we seeing? So I think the youth should allow the politics to be played according to the rules. We have laws governing all of these things and how people should be able to gather in a democracy, express themselves, and have right to belong to their different political parties. Look at, because he left their party and then joined another political party is now a crime. It's a very big threat to other people who might want to defect. What about those who defected at the statewide and National Assembly level? Have they been so targeted? So I think it's unfortunate, and youth should stop this by crying more than the bereaved.
We should do our best to speak to our youths that they will hear. Because this life that you're taking like this, just carry gun, just go, just kill people. The principal that sent you somewhere drinking maybe 2-year-old whiskey, since it's their political principal, I'm not saying that is the person that is sending them, understand me, the big political takes 40-year-old whiskey. So maybe being that you cannot afford 40-year-old whiskey, take 2-year-old whiskey. They sip them. As they sip they hide, they give you gun and you go kill somebody. We are wasting your life.
And the children of those who have given you gun, they are either abroad or they are in a good mansion somewhere
you're
enjoying
wasting
themselves.
your life. When they give you money, you go and buy one big screen, put in your hands. That's all. That is all. You're wasting your life. You're wasting your life. Go and smoke, drink. That's all you do. Abuse girls, the ones that want to be abused. Give them money, impregnate them. That's just the life. There's nothing else that you're useful for. So all you have is they give you gun, go and kill, you go and kill, go and scatter, you go and scatter. That's your aim. It's sad though. One account, I can't really blame you entirely, because if you knew better, you would do better. They set it up in a way that you will never know better. So you stay at that level. All you can think of is that level. But you could be a much better person doing better things with your life than killing people, chasing people all over the place. It's sad though. It's really, really sad. It's news. I've been hearing it and just shaking my head like, they enter. Today now, and I said, let me listen to news. You think complaints are also shame God. They're not old people killing, it's young people. We have energy now. Is it Mr. Indicate that we go and carry God and be chasing people at this age? No, nah. It's young people like us. We have the strength. We are the ones that have the strength. Myself and Dr. Fineface, we go run, jiggy, we'll burn the house.
But we have elderly ones,
No, the elderly ones will be in the background now.
Elderly ones.
Those ones will be in the background now, overlooking them. It's the young people that are going to be doing the killings.
It's unfortunate.
I wish we just have some sense. I don't know how to say. I wish we just have some sense. I just think of your life. Is this it? This is it. Well, when you think of your life and you think of Nigeria, you now ask yourself, Kelly, what do you want me to do? It's terrible. Anyway, a presidential candidate put out this post. It's something that he's been advocating for a while. It is idiotic. NDLA, wake up. Put on uniforms. For NDLA to wake up, put on uniform, march into farms and set economically viable crops worth millions of dollars ablaze while a country is drowning in multidimensional poverty. So my curiosity is this. Is it only cannabis that we can use to change our fortunes in this country? From poverty to wealth. Do we need to legalize cannabis?
Not at all.
For sure.
Not at all. We don't need to legalize
Is it not the
cannabis.
thing that is influencing some of these boys?
Exactly. We don't need to legalize cannabis. If we did that, then it's going to really throw the country into crisis. But we can do some aspects of legalization, which
We'll
I
explore that. Let's go for a break. When we come back on the other side, we'll talk about this, like cannabis, weed. Legalize it.
There's something you call it before. Wee, right?
Wee. They feel high ray. I've not done it before. I see some of them high ray.
And you are doing it now.
Oh, wow. We'll take a break and return. Stay with us.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
All right, let's speak with Ngowari from Non's Luxury Homes this morning. Madam, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, Kelly.
Tell us what you do at Non's Luxury Homes.
Good morning, people of Rivers State. My name is Ngowari Alenjak from Non's Luxury Homes Limited. We are a real estate company in the city of Port Harcourt. We buy and sell landed properties.
So where are your estates located and the prices?
All our estates, they are in Ikure local government area, Omagwa, and is fast developing area for now. We have Non's Treasure City by AP Junction, Agwawure, after the primary school Agwawure, with a launching price of 1.5 million naira outright payment, while installment payment is 1.8 million naira. Our second estate is Non's Flourish Estate Phase 2 by Pt2's filling station, Imogu community, Omagwa, with promo price of 1.8 million naira outright payment, while installment payment is 2 million naira. Our third estate is North Flourish Estate, Phase 3, also by Pt2's filling station, Imogu, Omagwa. This already fenced round. Promo price of 2.2 million naira for outright payment, while installment payment is 2.5 million naira. It's 5 minutes drive from the airport roundabout and 3 minutes drive from Alu. It has good road network, electricity, wild design layout, no hidden charges, no bush entry, no community wahala. All our lands are buy and build immediately.
Okay, where is the office located and your phone number?
Our office address is at number 120 Airport Road, Igritali. Our phone numbers are 0913 238 2724. 0913 238 2724 or 0808 414 6285. 0808 414 6285.
Okay, talk about your payment plans. Those installment plans, how long people have to complete their payment?
Okay, for the installment payment is from 1 month to 3 months. Remember these installment payments. You stretch the balance. After making the deposit of 1 million naira, you now spread it between that 1 month to 3 months. And this is for installment plan.
Is it a minimum of 1 million for all the properties?
Yes. But it's meant for installment plan, not outright
so what's the
payment.
breakdown for each of the property, installment plan for each of the property?
Okay, the installment plan for each of the properties for Treasure City at Ikwere Omagwa for Treasure City is 1.8 million naira. This is for installment payment. You make a deposit of 1 million naira. Then for North Flourish Estate, Pt2's filling station, Imogu community, outright payment is 1.8 million naira, while the installment is 2 million naira. For that installment payment, you make a deposit of 1 million naira and you spread the balance between 1 month to 3 months. While North Flourish Estate, Phase 3 by Pt2's filling station, Imogu, the outright payment is 2.2 million naira, while installment is 2.5 million naira. For the installment plan, you make a deposit of 1 million naira and within 1 to 3 months, you spread the balance within 1 to 3 months.
Okay, the documents that you give?
We issue out free deed of conveyance with instant allocation, and your document comes out in 3 working days after your payment.
When are your inspection days and inspection free?
Yes, our inspections, they are free, and from Mondays to Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
All right, so let's go by your properties again, their locations, prices.
For North Treasure City, located at AP Junction, Agwawure, after the primary school, is the outright payment is 1.5 million naira, while installment is 1.8 million naira. Then North Flourish Estate Phase 2 by Pt2's filling station, Imogu community, our promo price of 1.8 million naira for outright payment, while installment payment is 2 million naira. Then the third estate that we'll have is North Flourish Estate Phase 3 by Pt2's filling station, Imogu Omagwa, outright payment of 2.2 million naira, while the installment payment is 2.5 million naira. For the installment payment, you make a deposit of 1 million naira, then you spread the balance within 1 month to 3 months, and the land belongs to you.
All right, your physical location, office, and phone numbers.
Our physical location, our office number is 0913 238 2724. 0913 238 2724 or 0808 414 6285. 0808 414 6285. 0808 414 6285. Our estates in Non-Luxury Homes Limited is number 1. We have Treasure City, Non-Treasure City, located at AP Junction, Agwawure, after the primary school, Agwawure, with a launching price of 1.5 million naira outright payment. Installment payment is 1.8 billion naira. For the installment plan, you make a deposit of 1 million naira, then you spread the balance within 1 month to 3 months. The second estate we have is North Flourish Estate Phase 2 by Pt2 Filling Station, Imogu, Omagwa community, with promo price of 1.8 million naira. This outright payment. Installment payment is 2 million naira. North Flourish Estate Phase 3, also by Pt2 Filling Station, Imogu, Omagwa. This is already fenced. It is already a fenced land. Promo price of 2.2 million naira for outright payment, and installment payment is 2.5 million naira. It's 5 minutes drive from the airport roundabout. If you are coming from Alu, it's 3 minutes drive. It has good road network, electricity, well-designed layout, no hidden charges, no bush entry. All our land is buy and build immediately.
All right. Why should people buy from non-luxury homes?
It's because we are family real estate. Like these lands that I mentioned, in case you cannot afford the first one, the second one, you can afford the other one. And our land, you can buy land from us and be rest assured we maintain standard by God's grace.
All right. Your final words, phone number, and address.
My final words to my country people is, I'm urging you guys to take advantage of our promo now. And the best time to buy land right now is this raining season. You know, the rain is falling. So come to our office. We'll take you to the place. And our land is 50 by 100 meters. Yes, 50 by 100 meters. Our numbers again is 0913 238 2724. 0913 238 2724 or 0808 414 6285. 0808 414 6285. Why don't you come to our office? We are waiting for you. We have our able team that will take you to all these lands, and going there is free of charge.
All right. Social media handles, lastly.
Our social media handles is Instagram, Nons Luxury Homes Limited. Nons is NONS, Nons Luxury Homes Limited. The second one is Facebook, Nons Luxury Homes Limited. You can search us on Google at Nons Luxury Homes Limited.
All right. We'll go wire from Nons Luxury Homes. Thank you for being here. News update next. Please stay with us.
Radio has never been this good. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. News update.
Good morning. Here's the news update on Today 95.1 FM. I am Kelly Ikemenjima. President Bola Tinubu has charged Nigerian universities to place greater emphasis on practical skills, innovation, and problem solving rather than concentrate primarily on the award of academic certificates. President Tinubu said this was necessary for universities to produce graduates capable of driving Nigeria's economic transformation and competing effectively in a rapidly changing global economy. The president gave the charge while speaking at a 37th Annual Conference and General Assembly of the Committee of Vice Chancellors of Nigerian Universities held at the University of Ilorin, represented by the Minister of State for Education, Shuaiba Ahmed. Tinubu described universities as strategic institutions in the country's development, noting their responsibilities extend beyond awarding degrees. According to the president, the quality of graduates produced by universities must be measured by their ability to apply knowledge, develop solutions, and contribute meaningfully to society. President Bola Tinubu has appointed Abel Eniton as the head of the Civil Service of the Federation, effective August 27, 2026, was contained in a statement by Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, on Wednesday. Eniton is replacing Didi Esther Walson-Jack, who is set to retire from the Federal Civil Service upon attaining the statutory retirement age of 60. According to the statement, Eniton from Osun State is the most senior permanent secretary in the Federal Civil Service. Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Nyesom Wike, has directed the immediate stoppage of the use of green areas, parks, and gardens in Abuja as car dealerships lots. A statement by his Senior Special Assistant on Public Communications and Social Media, Larry Olainka, said the minister decried the conversion of areas designated for parks and recreation, including the Millennium Park, into car lots. The statement said the directive was part of efforts by the administration to address flooding in some parts of the federal capital city. Our task force has consequently been set up to enforce the directive, while Wike also ordered an investigation into civil servants who allegedly granted illegal approvals for the use of green areas as car dealership lots. The affected officials, particularly directors of Parks and Recreation, Environmental Protection, Traffic Management, and Urban Affairs, have been summoned by the FCT Head of Service, Nancy Nathan. On the foreign scene, South Africa's annual inflation rate has eased in July for the first time in 5 months, reducing transportation costs. Statistics South Africa says it has slowed from a 2-year high of 5% in June to 4.3% in July, below the 4.5% predicted by economists. The agency said the slowdown could be attributed to 3 main factors: softer inflation for food and non-alcoholic beverages, slower municipal tariff increases, and a decline in fuel prices. However, the annual fuel prices slowed to 20.6% from 34.3%, reflecting lower petrol costs as crude oil pulled back from highs at the start of the Middle East conflict but remained volatile. Price growth was also moderated by smaller municipal tariff increases, notably for electricity, water, and refuse removal, which are implemented in July. And that's the news update on Today 95.1 FM. Good morning. Thank you for your time.
Today 95.1 FM, where news meets insight, sports meets passion, and entertainment meets excellence. Expert analysis from seasoned professionals and our top analysts, informing, educating, and entertaining you. Your voice, your station. We are the voice of the people.
All right, thank you all for staying with us. Let's continue. Mr. Anukwe, do you think that we should legalize cannabis?
Well, Kelly, I think I really don't know what Shore is. I don't know what I can say cannabis or such things are doing for Shore. You remember I told you earlier on.
When you say do for Shore?
Yes. Because
that sounds weird.
No, it's not weird at all, because I am saying this based on hindsight. I told you earlier on one day like that he came to this studio and was indeed talking about why we should plant cannabis and all that and allow it. I said it's just like this one we are talking about, give licenses, empower everybody to have guns. That he said, is it how you look at it? I say yes, because now that cannabis is not allowed and people are doing as if they are drunkards and all that, wreaking havoc everywhere. Where is allowed, a lot of people will plant that for themselves and be using it the way they want. He asked me whether I know that there are some diseases that are cured by the use of it. I said, yes, I understand. I'm not a medical doctor, but I've heard such. But even at that, they are curing them now that there is no permission for it to be grown in Nigeria. For me, it will bring more problem instead of solving. He said, well, we are not federal government, but federal government should be made to. I said, go ahead. Maybe that's why he's still propagating that. I don't understand. Why would one be talking about cannabis every time? Every time. I said, is there anything he's doing for him? I don't know, really, my brother.
Dr. Fineface, you were speaking on this earlier.
Yes, I was talking about, Showore's proposal that cannabis should be legalized.
Yes.
I think we shouldn't support that, and we shouldn't even talk about legalizing cannabis. But then we can legalize an aspect of it for medication and pharmaceutical uses.
Can you ensure the control?
We can.
Can you ensure tight control?
Yeah, we can, because the pharmaceutical companies are known to governments through NAFDAC.
Okay.
And if they want to manufacture a type of drugs and they need it, then they apply and they are given access to have it and then control it for use and all of that.
They apply to who? Who would do the cultivation? Is it farmers? Is it regular farmers?
As we speak, they are using cannabis, to manufacture some drugs, I know. And to an extent, they know how they get it. But then, can we make that process something that is within the ambit of the law? But the way Showore is going about it is that we should allow every grass we have in Nigeria to be cannabis, because if it is legalized, that is what we are going to have. Everywhere, you are going to have it everywhere. And I think
it's quite easy to cultivate.
Yes, of course. And I learned it grows very fast, very fast. So I don't think it's something we should do. If we did that, then this one we are talking about now is like a joke compared to what is going to happen when people have taken it. Because I even landed, you do use it to even cook pepper soup, something like that.
They put it in beans.
Oh, in beans too. And then
put it in beans.
And then they
it
take
gives it a unique taste. And I like beans a lot.
Have you tasted it before, Kelly?
I said I like beans a lot.
That's the relevant question.
Okay, you can want to face me. No, it's all right now. But I still like beans a lot.
Yeah,
beans is very nutritious.
They shouldn't legalize it. I don't support the legalization of cannabis in Nigeria. It's not worth it.
How about the language of a presidential candidate? Idiot, fools, useless people, vagabonds.
Yeah, I think he's someone that I don't know how to really put it, but for someone that is trying to become the president of a country speaking that way, I think it's not a very good example. And he has already made up his mind that since they won't let him be president, he will be insulting them. Because he knows that...
Are you in his mind?
No, that's what he's trying to do. He knows that they won't give him the opportunity.
When you said they won't?
They won't.
Is it? Well, are you saying that Nigerians will vote for him?
Nigerians won't vote for him. Even if Nigerians did, the system won't allow him become president. So he knows that already. So he's using the opportunity he has now to insult them.
Even if the system allows him, but Nigerians will vote.
No, he's saying that even if Nigerians vote for him,
the
system won't allow him to be
president at all. So, well, I think he shouldn't be speaking like that, because I think he has children. His children are watching, and we are in the era of internet now. Whatever he's saying is there in the internet. Even when he's no longer in this world, those words will be there against him, and it will tell the kind of person that he was while he was here. So I think he shouldn't be using those words. He should try to be respectful. It's important for you to be respectful to constituted authority. Like he was insulting the NDLEA for setting ablaze, the cannabis farm. You don't do that. They are doing their job. And if there is an agency we should give respect to in this country and support, is the NDLEA. They are working. If you see how they track these cannabis, cocaine, everything at the airports, I think we need to really commend them and give them all the support. I don't know whether they have toll-free numbers that they should be coming on radio like this and let Nigerians to know and share those numbers, so that when people get to hear something that this is what people are doing that is not good, they can call the number, toll-free number, and give them information to act. They are really doing well. I commend them.
Dr. Emmanuel Urainama, chartered arbitrator, mediator, management consultant, and socio-economic commentator. Good morning, Doctor.
Good morning, Kelly. Good morning, panelists, and good morning, Nigerians.
Let me ask what you think. Two elders today is going to be quite interesting. I think I've had breakfast, so I'm not worried.
Of beans, right?
Yeah, beans. delicious beans. I didn't say so. If I take that thing, this place will be chaotic.
I don't think so. It's not all the food I take it that get chaotic.
No, the way I am, if I take this yellow, this orange.
Let's question how he is.
Non-alcoholic drink. This yellow beverage drink. He used to do me highly. That yellow one. So This is a setup. It's time to end this conversation. I'm up with Senaba. Good morning, sir. Good to see you. You are watching me. You are not seeing me.
I think you can disappear anyhow you like and then reappear.
Oh, you know, I went to
Anybody.
Bassa, and then from Bassa I had a quick stop at Barbados.
Didn't tell anybody.
I saw some nice shankets. It was a good trip.
Shopping for change of nationality.
Today it's not just working.
Yes,
today it's not just working. Why?
That's how some former petroleum ministers started. They ended up in London in jail. If you forgot anything, tell us so that we can help you pack.
No, I just like the views. Shankers were really, we give God all the glory that we could vacation in some of those nice places. That's all. Good to see you. I'm up about Bobosa Free Brown.
I'm not so sure it's good to see you.
It's okay. I understand.
When you abandoned your duty post.
Okay. At least
you did the right thing. You had a good substitute. Handling the mic. We only missed your presence, not your performance.
I like that. I like that.
That's shade. That's shade. That's
thicker.
They're even hugging each other. That's shade. Classic shade from an elder. So it's fine. No issue whatsoever. At least when you say I had a good substitute, so it means that we planned for it. No, we planned for it.
You usually plan for everything you do. It's okay.
This Kelly.
Planning is not as if it to remove the badness or goodness.
And it happened close to the election time in Osun State.
I went to
you can see. He can get. Okay, I now see. Come into this. I understand now.
Consultancy.
I now understand. Okay. You all travel at the same time.
At the same time.
Oh my God.
Because the president didn't want Osun State at all costs.
At all costs.
Hey.
So these ones, some people brought their calculators, others brought their laptops to figure out what the costs should be.
My God. I'm up with the boys, management consultant, CEO, Grain Consulting. We've greeted him already. Let me go back to Dr. Ura Inama. Let's come back to the first conversation we had about River State. We're getting multiple reports of shooting, killing. Kana, they killed 2. They went to Alo, burnt down a chieftain of the ADC's home. Why? That he had a meeting with his supporters. They went there, burnt it down. Right? Even the tenants, they pushed down their doors, shooting. We didn't hear that anybody died there, but at least there were gunshots. So, boys are now flexing guns. So.
Are you surprised?
I am. I'm not only surprised, I'm perplexed.
I am not surprised, neither am I perplexed.
They are now flexing guns, shooting the guns, killing people.
It happened between 2014 and 2015, wherein in Okrika, including a policeman, died, and till today, the police have not made a statement on that subject matter. Till today, they burnt cars, they stripped women naked, did several atrocities because they wanted to get into government. In 2015, yes, in Okrika. In 2015, till today, that case had died a natural death, including the policeman that died, was shot in a broad daylight. The same set of things. It is in River State, a young man who said he's now a super lord, told everybody that anybody that gathers anywhere that they should be ready for death. Until today, we've not heard police making a statement. So if things like this are happening, average Rivers person can point a hand to a place where this is coming from. And it's not a new thing.
You think it's political?
Very political, nothing else. What else brings out the guns, if not politicians?
I'm up with about. Do you think so too?
Think what?
The guns blazing now may be politically related.
Well, we see a situation where it is in the character of the feudal system to approach the populace with three things. First is to tell lies all the time. You don't expect any truth from them. Anything they tell you is false. That's the first leg of their propaganda too. The second leg is bribery, plenty of money. You hear the price of voters' card now in Osun State was raised from 5,000 to 20. Are you aware of that?
Yes. I'm just hearing.
Yeah, okay, so you were probably somewhere escorted. You didn't know how that played out since the president didn't want it at all costs. His home state. Then thirdly, the third propaganda tool the system comes is violence. Violence in all forms. Violence by way of intimidation, violence by way of kidnapping, violence by way of killings, outright killings, and all sorts of humiliation to enslave the conscience and the consciousness of the people. You know, those are two different things. Somebody can be conscious, somebody can also be conscientious when you are applying the consciousness in a given direction to change your situation. So they apply violence in those directions to ensure that nothing happens. Ogoni is in the southeast senatorial district of Rivers political constituency. The Ikwere areas, they are part of the upland constituency. So there are places, everywhere is really under threat. And as my brother Chief Emma said, we're going to be seeing more and more of these signs. Somebody said to me, it's the signs and wonders, in quotes, that Christ talked about the end of the times. So we're going to be seeing that. We have lived through this. Every time those who want to keep control of the political machinery of the state, every time they feel threatened, or every time they feel they want to intimidate us. And now that Osun State has happened, it is going to raise the tempo of oppression and suppression in Rivers State and similar states. I'm sure you're not here listening to what's happening in Cross River. Cross River, the PDP group there are speaking up and saying that they're tired of the political interference coming from across state boundaries into their state, trying to disorganize political consensus in their state into a false coalition that they don't understand. In Bayelsa, things are also happening. In Edo, so you see all of the Niger Delta states really are going to come under increasing pressures wherever they suspect that the people want to liberate themselves from enslavement. We just need to be sure that we do not allow the canopy of silence to provide a cover for them. And we keep praying for our people to get organized and to shine God's light on their situation, to build resistance, and to say we are tired of being slaves.
Okay, let me go to back to Dr. Irenoma. Do we need to legalize cannabis? Do we need to legalize cannabis? Is that a silver bullet to prosperity?
My answer is yes. Sorry, I'll let you take your turn. My answer is yes, but let him.
Why you didn't answer my yes? Because it was a yes.
Okay, for you too, is yes.
It's a yes, and I want to tell you something. Because you also attached something that is interesting. You asked if it is the silver bullet. So I want to ask if it is the worst. If cannabis is the worst problem we have in Nigeria.
No, I'm basing it on Showe's position.
I'm just turning the same question because the essence is you looking at just the danger. And I'm asking myself, is that the worst danger we have in the country?
Doesn't it make our situation even worse?
It wouldn't. It depends on the same system that is not doing the right thing.
It's a scale
The effect
of
of
that
cannabis.
system.
The effect of cannabis is the same whether it is in Nigeria or elsewhere in the world.
Yes.
I think there are places where they have managed to legalize cannabis and it is working. And that effect is not even close to what we have in the country without supposed legalizing of cannabis. Then, saying no to it doesn't make the sense. It's simply accepting that as a people, we do not have a system to actually check anything. So we are not accepting that fact.
No, but I agree with you that our system is porous.
So let's work on that system. That's where I'm coming from.
Okay, but I also want to cite cases that I have personally confirmed. I wasn't there physically, but witnesses on ground confirmed the effect it is having on people in those environments.
I agree.
In Canada, it's been legalized.
Yes.
People that have support from government that have tight control, you see them wasting away from this thing.
From cannabis or from other drugs.
They are smoking the thing and wasting away. Cannabis, weed, they are smoking it and wasting away.
Check very well. Check very well. The worst of them is not cannabis. There are many other drugs that get them. The same thing is happening.
Synthetic drugs.
Yes, the same thing is happening in Nigeria today with all the illegalities.
No, but
my concern is this.
Yes.
When you want to solve a problem and you begin to look at the branch of the problem, you won't get a proper answer to it. The fact is very simple. What level of control can our systems engender?
But you know the answer to that question.
So let's work. So have we finally accepted that this system will never work?
Well, are we speaking? Are we speaking hypothetically, or we're speaking of what is our reality?
You know the answer
you
to
mean
that question.
our reality where even some of our police officers, at least I've met one before,
not one. So
that was told. It is idiotic at NDLA Nigeria. Wake up, put on uniforms, march into farms, and set economically viable crops worth millions of dollars ablaze while your country is drowning in multi-dimensional poverty.
So he has not made cannabis the only thing. He said this is what
NDLA set ablaze.
Yes.
Cannabis farms.
Yes, that's what he's saying. He said this is one good area that will generate good money.
but other things might be on the ground.
This one is cannabis farms.
Yes, he's saying
that's what they set ablaze.
Yes, he's saying you're destroying one serious one.
So, Doctor, you think it should be considered?
I have said it severally. This is not the first time I've said it. My issue is, while considering it, do not lose eye to the negative side of it. Create the check.
Which is very difficult to do.
You must do it if you
I said yes, because every time we say no, action only raised the premium on it. It made it more fashionable for people to go and take it.
And today is even the same, if not higher than the so-called drivers.
Yeah. So the fact is
I don't know how people take these things.
The quality of the product kept attracting customers to it. The quality and the essence of the product.
The essence.
Yes. There are people who must take spirits.
Is that just a word? The essence.
The essence of the it appeals to certain needs.
It's called intestinal awakening.
It appeals to certain needs. Like your brandy, like your whiskey, and so on. It appeals to those kinds of needs in those who drink it. Let me tell you a story. In 1987, some Germans
I wasn't born.
And Koreans. That's why I'm telling you the story.
I like that.
And South Koreans who were working with us in NAFCON under MW Kellogg International Management Team. They were plant workers. They came to help start up the plant, the multinational fertilizer complex, the first world-class nitrogenous fertilizer complex in Nigeria. Now, they came to me. I was head of public relations. So interacting with the staff across all divisions was part of the responsibilities of my team. So they came to us and said, look, they heard don't you people have any gene that is indigenous to Nigeria? Must they go and look for Smirnoff, the real Smirnoff, Russian gin, vodka, all those rum to buy in Nigeria? Can't they find? I say, oh, if that's what you want, I'll take you to where you buy real good. Want to buy retail, want them to buy raw from the source. So we got there inside the bush. We bought the gin. They tested it. And this one say, fill my flask. This one say, fill my small jerry can. This one say, fill my... These were Europeans. There were Dutch people amongst them, South Koreans, Germans. So we all drove back after it. While they were doing that, I was drinking palm wine, fresh from the source. And I know all the great palm wine joints in Ogoniland. So we got back. They were carrying their flasks into the plant.
You reminded them no alcohol policy?
We had a no alcohol policy. The flask was supposed to be used for tea or water. But you see, we had a control process. Those flasks couldn't pass through the gate into the plant because you had to be tested before you enter the plant. Do you understand? So as you come out on lunch break, you can't even taste the drink because when you're going back into the, you'll be tested again. So they were able to drink the kai kai. They made great customers for the sauce in Pt2, paying the people good money to keep producing legally and selling to them. But we also made sure that the control system
at the plant
prevented them from doing havoc. In fact, when they were going away on vacation, because we had the 2 weeks in, 2 weeks out policy, they would take some quantity home. Now, when I came to Shell and we were planning a Niger Delta local economy blueprint, what is it that we'll put into Niger Delta communities for them to produce and market at home and abroad? Late Professor Kim Sokoko, late Dr. Siminala Joseph Jaja, Professor several of these Elder Martins, Amaribi, all of I put a group together, academic and industry workers, who knew the road. Let's see what the street knowledge will produce for us to commercialize energy in the Niger Delta. This was one of the things we thought of exporting, growing kai production by commercializing the volume, bottling it, and selling, shipping it overseas. And people expressed interest from different countries in Eastern Europe to stand as vendors, as retail, as wholesale buyers who will go. The only problem was that Shell was prepared to put money into that, agro-industries in the community, integrated seafood processing and all this. The only problems we had that arrested that program was we were to put these in integrated industries. That is, if we have a production center in 2-3 local governments, then we have a processing plant in another 1 local government. So you tie all the local governments into productive activities. Then the export end of it was to bring revenue to the state and the country. Now, the only reason it didn't take off was that Shell now challenged me and said, challenge me and my team. Go and get your governments to sign on to this. Shell will be willing to back this project with $60 million every year. If it grows, any community where the industries are doing well, their margin of investment will increase, right? So we're looking at having Niger Delta as a major production center of processing of pork, chicken, seafood, manufacturing of gin and other such things, plantain, flour, all those things. I went around the Niger Delta with my team campaigning for governments, state governments to sign on. All our state governments were more interested in becoming vice presidents.
Thank you.
And becoming party chairman, becoming presidential candidates than in what the local economy of their people.
Developments, yeah.
That's how it feels. So what we are saying here is why I said yes. You can commercialize the production and sale of cannabis. Don't just produce, process, and sell. Once you commercialize production and processing, then control becomes critical, because they see the leaves going into a plant, and what comes out are packages that are tightly controlled. You can weigh them, you can. Otherwise, you want to see a situation where every flight, every luxury bus, every car park, the public transport park, there will be checks, systems of testing to ensure that
this country.
You can set up those systems.
That's the same thing the so-called what's the name? NDLE
is
doing if you do it properly. And like I said,
that's what they should do.
From the root cause, you have controlled farms.
If we have the control,
so you now say any other farm is illegal. So you have a control. Same thing with the oil we are doing here. Now our boys are doing fire.
Yes.
And we call it illegal fire.
Yes.
The same refining the normal ones that are licensed are doing now. Is it not?
Exactly.
And so those ones are licensed.
God, I beg
legal refining.
Yeah. Because if it is legalized without control,
then
you will get to Quick Road and every other market in Port Harcourt, and you are going to see it on the table like vegetable. You will see market list say when you get to the market, buy cannabis, buy this, buy this, buy this. It's going to appear on the market.
It's native gene appearing like that on your shopping
No, it's
list.
different.
It's not.
It's different.
It's not.
Is native gene not as dangerous as it is?
This cannabis has more value than local gene.
I like here.
See,
what does that mean?
It has, I agree with you. It will command more export value. Look, Holland had legalized the use of cannabis in Netherlands. There are coffee shops. When I was a young executive out there in Holland, as part of the MW Kellogg management team in NAFCON, I found that you saw signboards on Dutch streets, coffee shop. You go there waiting for your coffee. It's actually a cannabis shop. People come there to smoke it, buy it, and smoke. But you can only smoke it there. You finish, you go. You see, it's not like we have to.
That's control.
Precisely.
That's control.
You created business,
but you can't
control.
Mental.
You created business and control prosperity for everybody in a way that makes sense. What we are saying is, don't just approve the planting of cannabis. Approve planting and processing and control as an integrated package, which would improve the economy, eliminate the stigmatization of the use of that material, and remove it from local consumption even. The reason why it is available to every Tom, Dick, and Harry now is because it lacks commercial value.
It doesn't have value.
At that high level. If it is processed, It can only be sold to Holland, sold to America, sold to Canada, sold to all the countries that really have actually, and then the pharmaceutical companies will go into the queue and try to get what they need. Nigeria will not be able to plant enough of it.
Okay. Let's go to politics. Jonathan, in his remarks on the outcome of Osun State election, this trend is unwholesome. If left unchecked, it could threaten our fragile democracy and have serious long-term implications for democratic stability. Political parties are entitled to campaign, mobilize their supporters, and deploy their legitimate party structures. This is an essential part of democracy. However, there is a point at which political mobilization, particularly when it involves the overwhelming presence of serving governors, senior public officials, and powerful political actors from across the country on election day, creates an atmosphere of apprehension, intimidation, bullying, and undue pressure. We must ask ourselves whether the increasing deployment of political power and large-scale mobilization by senior office holders on election day in states holding elections is consistent with the spirit of free, fair, and peaceful democratic competition. This hardly happens in other democratic countries. He is decrying the culture of governors trooping into states in their numbers in support of their candidate on election day.
First, it is illegal. It should have, yes, it's illegal.
Why is it illegal?
You are not part of that state. Movements ordinarily on election days are restricted.
No, but they come in before the election.
Which is part of
they come in a day before the election.
What even makes the question is raising very fundamental. What are you coming to do if you're not?
They come for the campaign now, last day of the campaign. They
I
come
have
on
no
Thursday.
issue with your coming to a campaign. But what is quarreling is beyond just the campaigns.
Because they
It's
stay
quarreling the fact that
after the campaign.
You stay. You are right there.
They're in their situation room. They're monitoring the process.
What business do you have in that state? If you want to monitor, it's a governorship team. They will announce the team at the national. Go to Abuja, INEC office.
But they
if you want
also
to.
they have their situation rooms now where they monitor from.
The states, it's a state election. It's a closed election to a large extent. And that's what is actually hammering. You had somebody who could not read a common budget going to another man's state and telling the person that the person is a dancing governor. A man who cannot read. I think a state governor, that's what you want to hear. It's not difficult for me to say. Yes, you could not read his budget. 6 figures is what you could not mention.
No, it was the way they wrote it down.
6, 7 figures, he could not.
No, it was the way you were reading it.
He couldn't read it in vernacular. He couldn't read it in English.
We wanted to check something. We wanted to check something in Osun. They should have given him the figure to pronounce. Let's check something.
Meanwhile, he's abusing somebody who he said is dancing. Yeah. So the question is, what are you really? Of course, you see the outcome. The outcome is ridiculing the office of the governor. David has taken him on and we have been messing him up. It's not him he's messing up, actually. He's messing up the office of the governor. What kind of country are we? Earlier you talked about somebody, you said he's telling people get out, as if it is different from what the president openly told people that
all is fair in politics.
All is fair in politics. Was that presidential? What is the difference between what all is fair in politics and the get out or the one who said that if the man wanted the place by force, he would have sent him?
Yeah.
Well, at least he didn't put it that way.
No.
What did he not put? He said
that's not what
he said. He said the president did not want to take.
Wanted Osun
State, he would have sent him. He would have sent him.
At all costs.
He didn't say I would have sent him.
No,
I could have been there.
No, not good.
No, that's what I said. I could have been there if the president wanted.
Who would have sent him?
That election.
Okay, who would have sent him? Okay, let me do interpretation now. He would have been there. What would have? So the president would have told him to go there now, as election fixer.
Well, I don't. It's the same thing. The interpretation of that statement.
That is your interpretation. I'm just saying what he said.
No, I agree.
The election fixer would have been there.
That thing you said, and the one.
And so you now ask yourself. So it's a culture we are building that the former president is now hammering. The danger that is likely to come from this. I mean, it took a Osun man deciding that let the worst happen and stones those governors. There will be an altercation between the security agents and those individuals.
Okay.
What kind of country will you end up with? Is that the right thing to do? Was that right to do? The executive governor of that state was still an executive governor by all rules of the law. So if he mobilizes and does an attack, Did somebody not stone people when they came to River State here? Did they not mobilize people to attack other state governors when they came here? So if people did that, and that kind of thing expands, will we still, in actual fact, have what we call one country?
It's inimical to our
This
democracy.
is dangerous.
Dangerous.
And by all standard, those in government should begin to think and stop it.
Dr. Fanfes.
Yes, I heard that comment made by our former presidents, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, GCFR, condemning the invasion of states by sitting governors and federal officials.
Really.
Eh?
It's an invasion.
Yes, of course, invasion of states, Osun State in particular. Well, I don't also outrightly support that. I know it's a campaign period and you can invite your friends to come and campaign and all of that, but it is a very strong way of intimidating other candidates. So those who do not have federal minds, those who do not have governors in other states cannot carefully or peacefully present themselves and voters can look at them and vote for them. But why I support that comment and condemn that action, looking at the person saying it, former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, that is what he did while he was in office. That happened under him. Did he talk? Did he say anything?
So he stopped. So it happened in 2013.
It happened under him.
That he stopped, according to his statement, I can't recall, but his statement actually referenced that in 2013 in Anambra and 2014 in Ekiti governorship election, while he was president, it happened. He ordered party leaders and senior government officials to leave the states after being briefed.
Why didn't he mention Rivers? He didn't mention Rivers here.
His wife was the president.
How do you mean Rivers?
He should have mentioned River because it happens so much in River.
The one of the cars was not during his tenure.
No. We're talking about that. You're looking at the greater implication.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That's what you're looking at. But in the actual thing is speaking of, where governors trooped in.
It's the same thing.
They didn't troop in.
They didn't troop in.
It's not the same thing.
It's not the same thing. They didn't troop in.
But it was along the same line.
The fallout are the concerns raised now. But the actual act.
If you look at how the FCT minister today became governor in these states, under him, right?
He was president.
Exactly. If you watch the trajectory and the process of the FCT minister becoming governor at that time, you will see that it's not different from what happened in Osun State.
Is it the same thing?
It may not be governors.
Exactly the same.
It may not be other governors coming in, but it was still the use of the instruments of government.
Power.
Yes.
The use of the instrument of government, the seeming, let me be very careful, the seeming express permission for security agencies to look the other way when things were wrong. And I mentioned here to you that...
No, not the other way only. To provide cover, security cover.
Yeah. Because if I tell you the 2014-2015 crisis in Okrika, we got the information. We told the SSS, we told the police, we sat with the commissioner of police before those incidents happened.
Okay.
And when it happened, I called the commissioner. I said, I told you. When we were at Moscow, I said, I told you. Your man is dead. The man is in the limit. If his man had died till today, it was covered till today.
At that time, Kelly, I think I've mentioned it in this studio before. It was like in Abuja, they sat down, similar to how God was planning to send Jesus Christ to the earth. And say, who will go to the earth and rescue us? Christ said he will go. So, at that time, under former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, it was that they sat down in Abuja, who will go and wrestle River State away from Right Honorable Chibuike Rotimi Amechi. The FCT minister today said, don't worry, I will go. And he went, and he came. And they pushed in the power.
And they had, what was that for?
And they took the power.
What was that commissioner's name?
Mbu.
And they had Mbu.
We had a professional police officer. And Mike was also collected from some people at some point. Former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, in biblically speaking, 1 + 1 is equals to 1, right? If you are married to your wife now, you and your wife are one, right? Former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan collected money from a sitting governor not to speak in Okrika.
I will object to that.
All of these put together.
I hold a different view.
No, I know it's your opinion. All of these put together, we are all built up to all of these things. You see, when these were happening under you, he mentioned some states that he took action, but he didn't talk in the terms of Rivers State.
So it's not the same thing now.
It's almost the same.
No, you say it's almost the same.
Look,
It's not
at the
the same.
time we had the
He wasn't the president. The wife was the president at the time.
No,
okay,
but
in Rivers State,
the
your sister.
the case you're citing and what he's talking about are not the same thing.
Almost the same.
I don't know if almost the same. They're not the same thing.
Okay, now let me pick this very angle for you if you didn't get it clearly. When the issue in Rivers State started at the time, the FCT minister today was, I think, Minister of Education, Minister of State for Education, when he started coming to start the process.
That's still a different thing.
Yeah.
What Jonathan is decrying here is simple. Look, governors trooping in their numbers.
Not just in their numbers. It's a breach of protocol.
Right? It happened in Edo, right?
Yes, because no governor should enter another state boundaries without notice to the host.
Even the Edo state governor said it, banning Peter Obi and all of that.
So that's. I just wanted to respond to this.
Yeah.
This is what he's saying. This is what Jonathan is decrying.
No, we're just expanding to include
the consequences, and the fallout.
Banning Pt2 is not the same. Pt2 is not a sitting governor. If a sitting governor wants to enter another state, right? There is a protocol for it. He has to inform the president of the country
and the governor he's going to
visit. And it is at the pleasure of that governor to receive him. Because
so Yosawito was right to have scolded Sarakidi's at the time.
Thank you. That's what I was going to.
Yes.
He was right.
He was right.
He was right.
He was right.
All of this put together, I think what former President Goodluck Jonathan is saying is not something that is out of place. It is not good for that to happen, that you have the invasion of a state by there were about 17 governors or thereabouts, coming in. I know they brought in some money.
But I was enjoying it because the video just told us that he defeated 17 governors.
Yes, of course.
He should be president.
That guy, they were
run for president.
So they were 17 plus the president and all of that. I thank them for the resources they push into that state. It will help to push some local economy and all of that. But that was an invasion. It's not very good. So they should allow governors in their various states to support. If they wanted to support it, they can send him money, to support the campaign and all of that. But that invasion shouldn't be allowed to continue. So I support the former governor in calling for, that situation not to continue. The former president, former President Goodluck Jonathan CFR.
Dr. Fineface, the reason I told you it's not the same thing when you are talking about seizing microphone and so on is because I was in government house when that microphone thing happened with late chief, the famous Ijo leader. No, not Ngeri Roland, from Delta.
Edwin Clark?
Yeah, Edwin Clark. Edwin Clark was guest of Rivers State government, and I went to meet with him on behalf of Opobo Kingdom because he was chairman of OIB Festival, Opobo International Boat Racing Festival, for that season. And instead of going to Abuja or to his place, he told me he will be coming to Rivers State and will be guest of the government. So could I meet him in government house? So I was there in government house. The president's wife came and was going to Okrika. Appropriate protocol was mobilized to go with her. What is different here is that, Fineface, the governor of the state was not invited to that rally in Okrika. It was Okrika people receiving their daughter, from what I heard.
I was there.
Okrika people receiving their daughter. It was the wife of the president, the wife of the governor, that was going with the wife of the president to Okrika on that occasion. After they had left, we were still in government house when the protocol people started running around. What is it? The governor wants to go there to join them. There was no sign. Chief Edwin Clark was like, I'm yet to talk with him. He gave me, they said, no, sorry, sir, he cannot talk with you now. He says when he comes back from Okrika, he will give you another time for the meeting. That other time didn't happen because they came back from Okrika in bits and pieces. And Chief Edwin Clark had to leave. And I left because I was there with him in the... But the point is, what happened in Okrika, from an outsider's impression, I felt at least so happy that a Nigerian citizen of Okrika origin was able to say, you cannot, because you have state power, insult the sensibilities of my people and the history of Niger Delta with this kind of inflammatory declaration about their rights. The issue was the planned destruction of waterfronts. And Okrika people have a vested interest in and the right of claim on what waterfronts to destroy and how to relocate the people, compensate them. That was not settled, and the government of Rivers State, represented by the governor, went there in the presence of their daughter, the wife of the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It doesn't matter who she is, but being an indigene, she felt the pain of her people, allowed the people, the Okrika people, to have a say in what is going to happen. But like I say here, I don't blame individuals. I blame the feudal system and its pattern of behavior.
Okay.
It keeps growing. Okay. What the former president is talking about now.
I will take your reaction to this, but let me ask, I've often heard Dr. Irainama say that patience is not from Okrika. Am I correct?
You heard that. And you want to hear that aspect, or you want to hear what is happening?
No, do you still hold that position?
You need to go somewhere and ask that question first. Let's finish this one now.
Okay. No, because you said she's...
So I need to answer this because I was there. I was present.
I was not in Okrika.
I was there.
Okay, you were not in Okrika.
I was there.
I was
that
the government house.
That is a
okay,
government.
so you were still waiting for the governor to return?
Yes.
To return.
I was there. The chairman of council, Tamnokro Oba, was my candidate who brought him into government.
Okay.
So I can tell I was there from beginning to the end. Yes, there was a bigger problem in the state concerning the riverine, the water side demolition, and the rest of it all. And a few of us also had issues with our people because we told them very simple thing. The governor then inherited a crisis situation in the state.
That's insecurity.
Insecurity. And the cheapest abode was the waterfronts, using people as shield when they come to commit crime. And so we raised, when the issue came, we said, yes, he can't take over our places. All of us were on that ground. But then, you do not just stand somewhere and begin to say, do not do a thing without profiling solution. In fact, in one of the meetings, he said so people should sign that they will take responsibility of any crisis that happens around those places. Of course, nobody agreed. And that's what came to him. He said people should take responsibility. So we should be able to separate. I mean, it's not
that's a devil's alternative.
You get it?
If you say I should not do this,
because the truth is,
and you tell me what,
and we suggest,
you take responsibility.
We suggested.
That's not practical.
To help is for you to come up with an alternative.
Will he listen?
And the alternatives were very
simple.
The alternatives were very simple.
Let him finish.
The alternatives at that time were very simple because some of us did suggest alternatives. Get a surveyor, let's survey the place. Ask the man, look, we are not arguing the relocation or whatever. We have XYZ place. Come Sandfield, XYZ place. But the issue we are asking them is, we had stories. You remember, people left. I said, Nepa Dam. People,
yes.
During our man, under Judge's period.
Yes.
Marine base people left. But some
other people took it.
Other people took it. So let's have those things as our own proposal.
Like guarantees.
As guarantees.
Was there a resettlement plan?
Those are the things we needed to. And the American chairman is still alive. We said, look, it's not just to say no. Let's sit down and draw this alternative. Yep. So that when we go to the table, it's not when we go to the table, all we are just saying is,
no.
You know good. And I said, that does not give any solution. So if we go to the table, we'll have something in hand, we need to talk. But let's get back to where the issue happened.
So we'll come back.
No, let's finish.
I have to go for the news.
Oh, thank you very much.
After the news, we'll continue.
what's happening in Port Harcourt, South South, Nigeria, or around the world, we've got you covered. On air, online, delivering balanced news and unbiased analysis. Today, 95.1 FM.
Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. News update.
Good morning. Here's the news update on Today 95.1 FM. I am Kelly Ikamenjima. Director General of the National Youth Service Corps, NYSC, Brigadier General Akunle Nafiu, has cautioned corps members against blindly sharing information on social media, particularly as Nigeria approaches the 2027 general election. Nafiu gave the warning during an inspection visit to the NYSC Permanent Orientation Camp in Katsina State. He urged corps members to develop critical thinking skills and verify information before sharing or commenting on it, warning that old photographs, videos, and artificially manipulated content are sometimes presented as recent events. The NYSC boss also cautioned corps members against sharing artificial intelligence-generated and digitally manipulated content, noting that advances in technology have made it increasingly difficult to distinguish genuine information from fabricated content. The federal government has called on South Africa to take urgent and concrete measures to end xenophobic and Afrophobic attacks against African nationals in the country. Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Shola Enikolaye, made the call at a virtual roundtable on South Africa's xenophobia in comparative perspective convened by the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs. Enikolaye said Nigeria views the attacks as a serious challenge that must be addressed without denial or exaggeration, stressing that the term Afrophobia accurately captures the nature of the violence. He expressed concern over the loss of lives in the attacks, disclosing that about 90 Nigerians have been killed in such incidents since June 2022, with fresh attacks and displacement recorded in 2026. The minister therefore urged South African authorities to strengthen transparent and humane migration systems, while ensuring that enforcement of immigration laws remain the responsibility of the state. He further reaffirmed President Bola Tinubu's commitment to the welfare and protection of Nigerians abroad, saying the federal government would continue working with South Africa, the African Union, ECOWAS, and other partners to promote unity, solidarity, and integration across the continent. The senator representing Borno South, Mohammed Ndume, has called on the Nigerian military to intensify efforts to rescue school children and travelers abducted from communities in the southern part of the state. Ndume made the appeal during a visit to the headquarters of the Theatre Command Northeast Joint Task Force Operation Hadikai in Maiduguri. He said some of the victims, including school children abducted from Musa and Lassa communities in Askira Uba local government area, passengers abducted along the Burate axis, and remaining victims from Ngozi in Goza local government area had spent more than 100 days in captivity. Ndume says his call for greater efforts should not be interpreted as a failure to recognize the sacrifices of the military, stressing that it is the responsibility as a representative to speak for his constituents and demand action where necessary. He also commended the coordination and synergy among security agencies, describing them as major factors behind the gains recorded in the fight against insurgency. On the foreign scene, Iran's Deputy Foreign Minister for Legal and International Affairs has accused the United States of heading toward another failure in its confrontation with Iran. He made the remarks in a post on X following U.S. President Donald Trump's announcement of what he described as a crushing economic operation. The Iranian official stated there's been miscalculations, arguing that military campaign had failed and now Washington was turning to economic pressure. He said the United States was being forced to create what he described as a bigger defeat each time in an attempt to cover up previous failures. He also added that the military war had not worked and the next phase has been labeled an economic war. And that's the news update on Today 95.1. Good morning. Thank you for your time.
Port Harcourt, are you ready? Today, 95.1 FM, the voice of the people.
All All right, thank you all for staying with us. Let's continue our conversation. Let me quickly just introduce Dr. Innocent Eku. He's a legal practitioner. Doctor, good morning. Welcome.
Thank you. God bless.
All right. Dr. Irainama.
Yes. So, what happened was a very simple thing. The issue that day could have been aggravated by the bigger picture of Port Harcourt waterfront issues. But the issue that day was that the government of the day had invested in building what she called model schools.
Okay.
And one of such model schools that was allocated to Okrika was built around markets and houses.
Okay.
It is built somewhere on Grimpolo's Sandfield, and this was the market just by it.
That can't work now.
And there are houses around. So he turned to his commissioner for education. If this was where they cited, well, that was where they were actually having the reception. If those was where they cited the school, of course, in his own, he has his own problems too. He now, out of anger, said he was going to scatter the houses
around
it.
In that traditional environment.
You get what I'm saying? Now, the problems were people in government mismanaging and misinforming their head. And that's one of the biggest challenges we have. You had a commissioner who was from that place and decided to do that kind of thing, and then perhaps had not reported the correct thing
to his principal.
And then you brought a man. And a part of the question I asked, and that was when some of us got angry. None of Amesi's children, or even his direct relations, will attend that school. So what was the essence of his anger? It was a wasted fun if you ask me anytime. A child will come to school that morning, and somebody in his house is frying egg. The child never had opportunity of eating egg in his own house.
No, even the noise, the child cannot...
The market persons. And so what was the thinking of the person who cited the school there and had wasted this much money?
The school was already built.
It was built.
I have similar cases. Schools built in between Minima and the Pelema in Opobo. Right in the forest where you have no population.
What the heck?
But a contract needed to be awarded. And it was awarded.
And as if you don't have land, you have land elsewhere.
There is no population to make use of that heavy, beautiful investment.
And we're asking the question, so he didn't control his anger at that point, but my concern was very simple. She was sitting just beside him when he was making that statement. And at that time, I knew very well that he still had so much respect for her. Because it was just that period, she forced him to drop a senatorial candidate and brought John Sakibo. It was that same period that she spoke to him after the primaries.
So rather than take the mic off his hands...
Yes, it was a simple thing. It was somebody she still
have beckoned on him,
yes.
Not him.
Eh?
Maybe she too was angry.
And then she did what she did, and some of us said, hey, you went too far. And of course, you knew the ability that all of us knew ordinarily at that time. They would have resisted that thing, but somehow that day, he acted, I'm sure God did.
I think it was a respect for Jonathan.
And he let it and then he left.
Yes.
No, but you see...
Okay, he left immediately afterwards.
After some time, he just left.
You see what I keep saying. Now, let's leave the individual and look at how the system operates. If we keep talking about the individual who are only agents of the system, possessed as it were by the spirit of the system, you will be missing the boat. Look, what Mrs. Jonathan did, by the way, made me very proud as an Ejo man. That we ordinary citizens of Nigeria can say no to devilish power being exercised by the feudal system that makes our best sons and daughters in power in government to behave as if we are strangers to them, as if we are a colonial camp, as if we are slaves. That is what Dr. Ryan has told you about the need for Okrika community, the owners of the waterfront, the Calabaris, the Queries, to sit with government and plan how we are going to develop the waterfronts. Would have solved that problem. It's true. That gap was missing.
Okay.
I know.
Can we come back to...
We come back to what Jonathan said.
Yes.
Former President Jonathan now saying that this was an invasion is very correct. But it didn't start now. It's the feudal system. It keeps growing. You bring a python home as your pet and you keep feeding it. By the time you realize what has happened, it has become a boa constrictor. There have been reported cases, scientific journals that said the boa constrictor that somebody took home as a python, a pet, grew to the point where every night when the owner was sleeping, the snake would come and try to measure himself around the man's neck. And the man got alarmed. Initially, he thought the snake was looking for warmth and would cuddle it and so on. But the thing kept looking for the neck. So he went and saw a veterinarian, those who are in python management, snake management. I've forgotten the technical name for them. And they said, hey, it's time for you to do away with this thing. It is time for us to do away with the feudal system.
So did he do away with it? Or he waited for the thing to do away with him?
We had one that was smuggled into Shell camp when I was manager in Shell. And, there is a no pets policy. But the man managed to smuggle, Igbo people and their funny, freaky life. One person managed to smuggle and was feeding the snake in the house until we were told one night he came back, he didn't see the snake. The snake had gone out hunting on its own. It was no longer waiting for food. And then when he came back, he didn't know exactly, because of the way the estate. He didn't know the exact house. So he started chucking its head into every AC, trying to push to see where it goes. That was how animal control was brought in and the snake was. So you see, when you leave the feudal system, it keeps growing in impunity. Impunity is a major aspect of the mode of behavior, pattern of behavior of the feudal system. What President Jonathan talked about is true. Former president, there is no way 16 governors, 10 governors, in this case 17 or more, with the Senate president, should enter another governor state without due protocol. They were allowed to come during the campaign season as part of a campaign train. And after the campaign, you leave. But we now face a situation where these people enter at will because they are in power.
Enter with cash.
They came with cash to preside over, and it didn't start with Oshun last weekend.
No.
It has been growing. It's a creeping tendency. Look, in Rivers State, the Senate president came with FCT minister to a private event somewhere in Ogoni when he was having this, before the Rainbow Coalition started a rehabilitation of itself with Governor Fubara. And the Senate president made political statements affecting the governance of the internal peace and governance of a state, which by protocol is not allowed. What we see is that the feudal system is increasingly demarketing the sub-sovereignty of states.
All right.
Unless you are in the green book of the president.
So for you, it's also a danger to our democracy.
Let me give you one example.
Can we make it brief so I can take other views? We have two other issues.
Very brief. In 2003, Shell helicopter was hijacked and taken to Delta State by Niger Delta militants. I was in the field playing football, and my boss called, the general manager East, you have to go and head that operation. So I went and was based in Warri with my friend who is now Chief Fidelis Abiki, and we started putting together a team to manage. Part of it is, to make the story short, was at a point we needed, we went to late Governor Alamesia, who all the people, the militants, listened to. They had a lot of respect for him. So we went to Yenagua and said, is there a way you can help us? We do not want the owners, the countries whose citizens were pilots of these aircrafts to feel alarmed. The US Embassy was calling us, the Australian Embassy was calling us. They wanted some action. And you can't put it past them that some military action could be decided to rescue them. And he said he would do it. Against our advice, he decided to enter Delta State in the dead of night, around 12 midnight, and became himself
a captive.
And our anxiety was, the governor of the state didn't know about this entry. So you have breached protocol. These were issues we put before him before he made that decision. Brave man. He said he will go anywhere in the Niger Delta. He was a welcome voice for the liberation of the Delta, and the militants knew him. Look, and the president of the country could call you and say, where are you at this 3 a.m.? And you tell him you're in another man's state without their knowledge. So there is a serious protocol guarding those movements. What we see is the free will violation of the protocols that respect the sovereignty of states. And it is growing in tendency, a situation where we have moved from 3 governors, 5 governors going in solidarity, carrying their money from their states to go and spend, to buy votes in other. Now we had a case of 17 governors, if it is true, and the Senate president sitting there. By whose permission did they go? If the presidency did not allow them.
Okay.
That means the presidency, the same thing they did to Rivers State, to devalue the sovereignty of Rivers people as invested in the governor of the state. That's what happened in Osun State.
Mr. Ndukwe.
Kelly, I think the president is, the former president rather, is very correct. For me, it's an invasion. In the first place, if Aso Rock allows them to go, because I want to believe that they would have communicated him, that they were all going to Osun State. And then he would have asked a question, why? To go and deliver whatever his name. I can't remember his name.
Ambo.
Now, he kept quiet and betrayed them as it were when they had reached. Now, himself allowed the Osun State governor to come back. Because I keep on saying, no matter the power of Osun people and all that, if the presidency or the president, not presidency, the president himself did not want
he failed.
What's his name?
He failed. The president failed.
No. He has a right. He has a right to his opinion.
No,
Dr. He has a right to his opinion.
If he finish, I'll say my own.
He has a right to his opinion, please.
That's my opinion. And I am telling you that I have said it severally that no, it's not wrong, sir. It's not. See, one thing in this country is that if Aso Rock does not want you to come to win, you won't win.
Yes.
And this one, he wants him to win. He kept quiet.
How would he want him to win and then set up all the
okay, so you're saying you're saying that
yes,
Aso Rock allowed them to invade the state the way they did.
No, what I'm saying, they would have told him because of what he had in mind. He said, well, if these men want to go, let them go. But I'm standing on my position. And that his position is that he allowed everything to happen there for Adeleke to win.
Okay,
he allowed it. And that's why when Wike said that
the culture that Jonathan is decrying here, let's stay on that.
Is that invasion?
You call it an invasion?
Yes, and I agree with former President Jonathan.
Okay.
Yes. So I support even when Wike said if he had been in yes, I tell you.
Dr. Eko, Jonathan decries the massive mobilization of governors to states. He calls it anti-democratic.
Jonathan is correct. It was indeed an invasion. and it was a federal act against democracy.
Yeah.
And that movement was part of the grand strategy to intimidate the electoral process, subjugate it, manipulate it, and influence it corruptly and illegally by inducement, financial inducement, to subvert the wish of the people. And therefore, the president was not ignorant, because the campaign team had their strategies properly briefed to the president. So president was very aware that those numbers of governors were going to invade the state. And that was subterraneous, and that was illegal. It was also immoral. It is not correct. I disagree with Ndukwe that the president wanted Adeleke to win. There are evidences that the president needed Osun State very badly as a tonic for the 2027 election. One is that Osun State is a Yoruba state, his immediate catchment area.
Yep.
And he needed it. Not winning it has broken the jinx to show that even his catchment area, he cannot solidify them for his advantage. Apart from that, so much money moved in, and we even have video where over 500 million was placed on the table by the wife of the other gubernatorial candidate of the APC, and they were given to voters. As you collect, you go and vote. It was displayed. It was on air. EFCC did not act. Security agencies did not act. So everything was done for APC to win. But the wish of the people prevailed against APC.
Okay.
It is important to note that the way presidents intervene in electoral process is not by openly ordering that man must not win, that man should not win, even though he has won, throw him out. No, they do it surreptitiously.
Okay.
And they did all that. It's just that APC lost, not that Tinubu conceded for Adeleke to win. They didn't want him to win. If they wanted him to win, he wouldn't have left APC. You remember there's a disagreement that made him to leave APC and go to APC. No, he wanted to go to APC.
He wanted to go to APC.
Yes, but
from the account, it was
yes, that's what I mean. The atmosphere, if Tinubu wanted him, he would have made it favorable. Yes, so the fact is that the wish of the people prevailed. And history has it that always it is the wish of the people that can subvert the wish of the feudal system, which our friend has been pointing out. But when the people unite, and then the consequences,
they dismantle the feudal system.
And dismantle the feudal system.
So, the sentence you're missing to conclude your speech, that sentence is that the God of Rivers State returned the slap. They have used on our state to back to the president.
Shown every other person.
Yes.
That is center.
In fact, a lot of states are blessed.
Rivers State should take heart. Rivers State should take heart. God is on our side. That slap, he will fight for us.
We have now put beside the matter.
Yes. In the smuggling of the feudal system.
Acknowledges the act of God.
The act of God.
Even the act of God.
The act of God.
The act of God. Yes.
4 p.m.
Yes. I have already advocated. Remember that I have always told you here. I have whispered to you that Tinubu will not come. I have said it to you for times, quietly, calmly, and I said that there are things on the ground. Yes,
but then
that will cause Tinubu to fail well.
That by 4 p.m.
Anytime this type of issue come around, I will unveil the strategy. They are working. They are falling into places. And this losing of Osun have dampened the seal of President Tinubu.
No. Don't give you the conclusion again. He's not agree with. You missed another sentence.
Yes.
Under normal circumstances, the loss of Osun State being his home state, which was to be his signature statement on his re-election, would have would have served a notice, a final notice of public rejection. In fact, I'm minded to think that the governor of Osun State did not really win. The people of Osun State just rejected the peace. So what I'm saying, the sentence is that the feudal system, even where the president loses by 2 p.m. on the day of election, the feudal system at this stage of its development in Nigeria is a system that political scientists have not seen the kind before. It's ferocious, it's vicious, and it will go into fifth gear. What that fifth gear will be is what all of us should be.
The other option is likely that the president could lose.
Yes.
I'm the scientific mind. I'm thinking the interpretation of all the science about. So if they're going to fifth gear, before you call results, something that does something savage is going to be.
The former Inspector General of Police, who was there when President Jonathan lost the election, what he said at the time Obebe made that speech, that fiery speech at the collation center, that the INEC chairman phoned him and said, "What do we do?" And he said he got 3 other calls from workplace people in government who were like, "How do we react to this?" And he said, "We had contingency plans." He was prepared to do what was because he had sworn an oath to Nigeria that he protected the constitution. That he didn't do it for Buhari, he did it for. But that tells you that the system kicks into gear when it gets to the critical moment, right? How it will react. It may not get generated response. It was former President Jonathan that defeated the system by disarming it. When he put that all across, the to congratulate him and said nobody's blood should be spilled for his political interest. Okay. How a Tinubu will react is a different matter.
Last one. I stand by the tell you that the president and his team was working in our show. And that has to be said as many times as possible. Because what I'm so like so continuous to get.
And it is not he have done that.
He will have said that.
It's not.
And then because even in ABC, in charge of even the man who said people that lost his place. Lost in his
unit.
So we see how it worked. And believe that if that happened, that is what people it's not the power is free. And always be in the hand of people. And Nigeria should decide what they want to do during this time. And I said that time, a country has hijacked people who have only wanted to take back a country. We take back rivers. Except one is left to us.
So people like to go before 4 p.m.
I said 4 p.m.
He will lose, but that will go on.
That was his response. Nigeria also have ready response. Let's say so that what's if you lose the election, leave out.
You will leave.
Okay.
Clearly, the issue is not easy as well.
No, it's not.
It is a lot to be popular. I can say that if you had wanted to leave, you would have left. A lot of people say, I don't reach as well. So what I'm saying, Kelly, I said yes, if you follow the trajectory of the president, Tinubu will be difficult to be off stage. He will be there. But you see, what we got yesterday, look at who is that. There's taking leadership. That may be something. I'm going to do something. And you know that's why it's also makes sense. See, removing Americans until we be elected, we don't understand.
So that one will not stand.
So you don't want to get attached.
The fact that our former governor, deputy minister, has said that if the president wanted to win caucus, we must sure that he would have been able to open the window for us to understand the internal divisions that are growing within the campaign.
Thank you. There are no consequences. Just a segment of the thing. Right? After this Spanish, it says we will win. We don't have violence, and because we are not leading violence is related to the election results of so whether the president of the from the support certificate. They are signing this code. Who says half a
we know our enemies. It's a word of two. Those who violate is our thoughts are enemies of it. But it means that they want to grow and cause chaos. So you get focus. Where is there? The problem is this. The federal system had fed our minds on certain. They told us that they are not. If they are there, they can fit. They told us on Abuja, go and sleep and lead elections. I will give you results. They gave them results. Because people believe that if this person has said he will give results, then he will give results. But if people understand that he cannot give results, that at most all he had is just one vote, the people will be there to punish him. If there's anything to do, like we said, one way of pushing them is to make sure that every time they think they have power, we show them that they do not have power.
Okay.
And the way to do that is to make them fail as they failed in Osun.
Dr. Eko?
Yes, citizens have power and can punish politicians who are working against the well-being of Nigerian citizens by blocking their return, by voting against them and their party, voting against the candidature, advocating against them, mobilizing other voters to vote against them.
And against anybody they support?
Yes, and anybody they support. It's just like in River State. I hear that our brother and my friend is presenting candidates for governorship. Me, I will not vote for his candidate.
Never.
It's my friend. We agree by hugging. I will not vote for his candidate because him and his candidate kept us in this loop that River State is in now. And if we vote for his candidate, the same thing will repeat. And my message to River people, we are already galvanizing to make sure that we will take one candidate and everybody will support that candidate.
Mr. Ndukwe.
Kelly, I can't understand anything.
Peter Accord is voters to punish politicians who violate peace accord. How?
I do not listen to that at all. You see, let me tell you, it's been long for many administrations in the run-up to elections that will bring the administration. They have been signing on peace accord. Peace accord. Even in Rivers State here, what has it ever achieved? Has it made the peace accord? Has it stopped killings and all that? All it is that a bedevil election in Nigeria. The answer is no. That no is in capital letters. See, Obi is just saying, because see, a politician must have something to say to win the people's hearts. And that's what he has done there. When he reaches, when he starts, you will see that even Obi himself, what he will be looking for is a cover for his own head and perhaps his own people. Nobody will ever remember. Punish you as Tinubu is now. The fact is mobilizing for you punish Tinubu. How will you punish him? I will vote for him. By voting against him. It's understandable. You won't vote for him. You have one vote. And there are no you.
And that is why I am continually canvassing for more persons.
No, you are right. So what in summary, I am saying that Obi has made his statement. But that statement looks neither here nor there for me.
I think we need to understand where we are. For the ordinary Nigerian citizen, starting from the policeman who suffers under the weather on the road to make sure that law-abiding citizens can at least pass without being harassed by desperate citizens who want to survive. We are all in this together. What Pt2 seems to be saying to me is the bold headline. We now have to write the story to fill the space. How do we do that? It is to, Pt2 has challenged us to begin to build the milestones that should be checked against as we progress with the peace accord. Now, my quarrel with the obedient movement, and I have been in the obedient movement from the beginning because I saw it as an anti-feudal system movement, is that we have not gotten organized sufficiently to say we believe in ABCD. Whether or not Pt2 is in power, we remain focused on those things like in the old party systems of the 1950s and 1960s, where we knew what action group stood for, we knew what NCNC stood for, what MPC stood for. Whether their leaders were there or not, they represented those views by actions they took. We need to get to the point where the obedient movement mobilizing Nigerian groups who are against the feudal system. We have run this feudal system to the point now, in the 60s, parties used to have standards on which people joined them. Now, in 2026, we now have individuals owning parties and asking us to come and vote as if we are hired hands. So we need to have all of us who are opposed to the malicious and oppressive ways the feudal system has run to come into small groups. And I read something the Rashi Kingdom Front published recently, and another one published by Equity Group. It made great sense. Let's begin to say, we do not want this. We do not want this. We do not want this as we approach the general election. So that any presidential candidate or governorship candidate whose camp is seen to have violated even before the election date, if you violate those things, you are infringing on the peace accord, the constituent parts of the peace accord. That is what I think Pt2 is challenging us to do.
All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll open the phone lines, activate the other channels for your contributions. Please stay with us.
Hey, you want to speed drive? Come on to this track. You want to smoke? Not on the steering wheel. You want to drink alcohol? Don't do it on wheels. Go to a bar and don't drive afterwards. Seatbelts are not for fancy. They're there to save your life. Follow traffic rules and obey them because they're for your own good. Drive with care because life is dear.
Looking to grow your business?
Ready to elevate your brand and reach the right audience? This is your moment to take your brand to the next level with Today95.1 FM.
Your trusted voice, reaching thousands of listeners every single day.
From startups to established brands, we create powerful advertising solutions that boost your visibility and drive real growth.
Our affordable advertising packages are designed to give your business maximum visibility and real results.
Don't just advertise where people are listening.
Call us today on 0818-389-2850 or visit our station to book your slot now at Today FM Drive, off East West Road, Obiako.
Today FM 95.1. Your voice, your market, your success.
Live your truth, express your love, share your enthusiasm, take actions towards your dreams, talk your talk, and walk your walk.
Because years ago, there's a statute limitation on this stuff.
Make today worth remembering as we discuss issues that affect Nigeria moving forward. Talk that talk.
Weekdays, 2 p.m.
Exclusively on Today95.1 FM Port Harcourt.
You may not realize it, but do you know you can always show your love for others with simple gestures? Here are some of them. Always look for the good in people. There are two sides to every story. We have our good and bad sides. So look for the good in people. Focus on people's potential. Everyone has potential. So rather than put them down, help them realize it. Choose to love. If you have an option between giving love and receiving love, choose giving because that is a more practical choice. Treat everyone as equals. This means letting go of all the prejudice and partiality. See people for who they really are, not their jobs, not their apparels or bank accounts. If everyone does this, then the world will be a better place. Love yourself. You cannot give what you don't have. So, before you try to love other people, love yourself first. Forgive. We all make mistakes. So, whether it's a family or a stranger...
95.1 FM, voice of the people.
And we're back. All right, time to take reactions from you. 0810-951-0951. You know you have 60 seconds, right? So please, let's make it count. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Kelly. Good morning.
We can hear you. Good morning.
All right, thank you so much. My name is Mr. and I'm calling you from Nigeria. I most sincerely appreciate the caliber of men you brought to the studio today. I think these men are so full of wisdom. The program is very much up to the atmosphere. Very thank you. I congratulate you for handling this kind of wise men. I appreciate. Now let me speak on the instruction and the statement credited to Wike and Jonathan all together. I think what they are doing right now is to play mind. They have lost. They know that they have lost. But they don't want to create that narrative that they have lost. So that people will not use this in street influence to prepare for them in 2027. They just want to create that narrative that they are the lords. They can create atmosphere that will favor and nobody will be there.
All right.
So right now what people should be thinking about is how to prepare for 2027 so that like this is
Thank you. That's the time. Good morning. Today 95.1.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
I just from Origo. Then I want to look at the statement of Jonathan and the brother they applied. Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Please go on, George.
Okay. Somebody is telling me that Tinubu will lose the election. Just look at the process of doom. They have already said that nothing on earth that will make Tinubu lose the election in the coming election. If you are saying your own vote is one, can't your own vote? You cannot use the other person's vote to calculate to your own. So Tinubu is not Jonathan who lost the election. No, nothing. If you start to come and like I'm with anything, that Tinubu will not lose the election. Win the election until 27. That's the one.
Good morning. Today 95.1. Welcome.
Good morning, Kelly.
Morning.
This message for the I'm telling you to the statement made by the PRP chairman. I believe that if we Nigeria stand firm, the way of people stand, the result will be in the same way. Because if we don't stand firm, we get ability. And let me just react a little bit to get people in the statement.
That was yesterday. Can we look at the things in front of us there?
Okay. So, with him, indirectly trying to lobby for what former allegation. He's trying to lobby for.
All right, that's the time. Good morning to Today 95.1. Welcome.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, my name is Sanjay from Sabah. Definitely, the former president, Jonathan, speech is very correct. And I found out that the only election option that will remain now is between the Bush and me and part of my family. I cannot follow part of my family. I cannot call my family. I'm part of my family. So my family is the Bush. Yeah, whether it's president or not, we also prepare. Thank you.
Good morning to 95.1. Welcome.
Good morning, Kelly.
Hello, Francis.
Yeah, because I get to the studio. I want to talk about the party comment that the people will finish up by 4 p.m. My own language is when the party had only one vote. I think it's 60.7 for the entire Nigeria. Let me know what nobody should complain. Nobody should point his vote on Canada after the 7 election. People will win him in his own state. Green and people, the also election we are talking about. The governor have not come out to enjoy people again. It means that people is completely one of people. All the people shout out in the NDC got 17,000 votes. That is another aspect. So that's the reason that all people making an NDC and it's because at the end of the day, they will not get anything. People will jump at 30 days.
Thank you, Frank. Good morning to Today 95.1. Welcome.
Good morning,
Mr. Peace, everyone.
Thank you. I think the government of the government, this 17 governors, the quarter in one state, with all the Senate presidents and all the go-go, we cannot win that state. Is it when one governor is presiding over a state that they will win?
Let me tell you that already people are still the job is already out. And we are just in the job. Nobody should deceive any, but nobody should deceive himself. People is gone and gone forever. If we see what the governor will do to him, there is no how people will maneuver it without, and he cannot.
Right, that's the time. Good morning to the 5.1. Welcome.
Good morning, Kelly.
Hello, Obed.
Thank you, Kelly, and good morning to all the guests in the studio.
Good morning.
Kelly, let me re-emphasize on what somebody said that he would be seated in the will go for me, and that is a clear and hard truth. On that fair content, Kelly, which is what you did in January 27. Before 12 noon, I bring it back. Before 12 noon, on that fair content, in fact, no matter what they do, the new defeat will have been announced. Let me stop you.
All right, Obed. Thank you. Good morning to the 95.1. Welcome.
Good morning, Kelly.
Welcome, sir.
This is so good. For me, I didn't see that way when we lost his election by 4 o'clock. I didn't see it that way. Although that I don't think that I know that we are not happy with the thing. But for people not a woman. When it's about people is one of them. So it's still about right. So you know what to do. For him to keep them in this election, I did not make a woman. So let the people see. Thank you, brother.
All right, thank you. Hello, good morning to the 95.1. Welcome.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, sir.
Those who are saying that Tinubu will win automatically, they are free to live for us. We brought Tinubu from 2016. So we made magic. We still rebuild that magic. And they should not write this about our hands. If some of us will care about this. This man talking, I think, so where the votes come from? Why the government chief and Christian government now, for them and ambition? That's why the vote from Tamu and the Ghana state or Athena is coming from the Southeast. So they are backing a South Star to Southeast to Nigeria to make why they are the creators. So it's a balance for good. Nigeria will beat the fresh air.
Thank you. That's the time. Good morning to the 95.1. Welcome.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Kelly. Keep looking at the best in the studio. Bless one to you and the bad one to you, the bad one to the keep a shy. I'm never going to do anything. People they say they will win the election 2017. I'll be 7. Mr. Kelly, you see, the truth is that Jagaba has not done anything tangible for what people say you campaign. And also, I want to disagree with Dabran. He said Jonathan White letting my from Amici.
Good morning to the 95.1. Welcome.
Good morning, sir. My name is Ingley. The Pt2 government and somebody said they will be the win next time. Just to dispute, like my shy and my friends, so we are doing some campaign and also let people know the power. The citizens of the country have over their freedom of saying. So if other people can also start in peace, I'm sure what we want, that's what is going to happen at the election. Thank you very much.
What's it, Please from here. Hello, good morning.
This is actually connected from Medina. The government is by our data. I want to say that is the replacement. I believe we have more than just one. So we have for me. Thank you so much.
Good morning to the 95.1. Welcome.
Good morning, my good brother and good house over there. Yeah, this is Apollo calling from Port Harcourt. The movement of the governor of Osun State, stated by my former president, Goodluck. Now, if this governor, the way they move Osun State, if they also will use the systematic and strategizing way to come together, I believe that this agent in the country will be a thing of the house. If this governor outside wall, I'm lying. Any governor that will appear to be the governor of this country should have a skill. Imagine this governor have skill. I don't think they will mobilize themselves, leaving their responsibility or their work. That's the state when nothing come out. So they should reason and start behaving well. Thank you very much.
Good morning to the 95.1. Welcome.
Mr. Kelly, I've not done my 1 minute.
No, you don't have to do 1 minute. You don't counter your guest. If you listen to the show, you don't agree with Amoku. But did you say that?
Yes, that was what I said.
Exactly, so you're out of line. If you want to correct, it's not about him. It's not about him. It's my own in-house rule.
Okay, sorry for that, but not out of disrespect. But what I was trying to say, Fubara has not resisted wicked and the way of the just way to reject impunity. But I say Fubara wicked. So you see, Kenya has been doing this. Fubara has to fight. And today, River State resources and this thing is in jeopardy. So that kind of thing is something that the wife of Jonathan cost for River people in the name of just faith and resisting ambition. Good man who have put River State on the landline where today we will have the kind of leadership who have attacked River State resources. I'm not happy with this weekend and his father and son.
Thank you. All right. Good morning. Good night, everyone. Hello. All right. Thank you. And that myself. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
I think my brother in the video just.
Hello, good morning.
They are all through River State. I'm going to tell you what is happening in River State. I have the opportunity to after the I have the opportunity for all the affected. Let's go together. So not for this wicked program and all wicked.
You're out of line, sir. You're out of line. Completely out of line. Okay? So I have taken editorial control. Good morning to the 95.1.
Good morning. Yeah, thank you so much. I want to talk about the show here. And starting with you, I think that the economic potential is considered the order of priority. This is the agreement to even though some criticize it, but the end of establishing that it is essential for now to become a deal. And the company currently not to the type of school. For the type of establish that the benefits are going to the center. It's not like the government thing here. Just the government has our government and national establishing Nigeria, which we are already to have the same government in the US. So I want to say, Jonathan said that
morning to 95.1.
My name is Josiah. Once I myself is a manager, I think the few things I got state government don't allow other police officers to come in the state. But it is it's more dangerous than time to pick up. Please allow other police officers to come. It's more dangerous. Time is for it, not more important than the state. Allowing other people to bear the war for the state.
All right, thank you for your contribution. Let's read messages. Number of them. People here on X and WB. I'm even looking at 1 p.m. They must lose. They will lose at 1 p.m. Oh, wow. The confidence high. High like this. Wow. 1 p.m. Tinubu would have lost the election. Okay. What do I know? I know that means that Tinubu will lose at 4 p.m. if only the opposition unites behind one presidential candidate. Samuel, good morning, Kelly. Yes, it's possible if the election is fair and fair. An upload of results to INEC portal. It will not even reach that 4 p.m. Sam on the third round, Tinubu may not win because anything can happen in Nigeria. To win the third round, some Nigerians will still vote him with or without exchange or something. But the timing, it's not even possible. When do votes start and end in the first place? This peace accord that candidates are signing is just a paper talk. All right. Sanders, it's just spot on. Tinubu knows under free election, he will never get 30% of Nigerians' vote. So he's a disaster in this presidency. All right, you will have to vote him out. That's your opinion. Thank you. General Post. Okay. Hello, John. Good morning, and the panelists. I totally agree with Akiba that Tinubu will lose to the same election. That is only if the election is free and fair. Of course, one legacy of his state being courageous and truthful. Thank you for telling them the truth to their faces. We have saved so much from subsidy removal in addition to huge boring, yet no corresponding economic growth on the people. Government. All right. Still for Bureau, every same 15 to 8 trillion from fuel subsidy removal. My question is, what are they using it for? How much are we buying fuel now? Daniel Macy, good morning, and the guests. Wishing you a wonderful day. Thank you so much. Thank you. Wish you a good day as well. First troops, what you good. The people can punish bad politicians by not voting for them, but with their votes count, will they be able to protect their votes against men in uniform carrying guns and tear gas? It just happened to us at 113, Unit 9, in Boba, 2023, when they shot at us and cut away our votes and announced a false result. Wow. Everyone can put it this way. The result was target of Ocean gun attack, okay, according to police. State is always desperate, even given the fact that they control 31 out of 36 states, they are still restless because they know that money can buy the will of the people this time. Okay. I totally agree with Akiba Ahmed because APC will not win free and fair election anywhere in Nigeria come 2027, judging from the current situation in terms of the reality of things on ground. It's obvious that majority have rejected this APC government and what happened in Osun State is a perfect example. Every year, veterans keep protesting over poor treatment and the military leaders feel unconcerned. Let me tell them that tomorrow they will join the League of Veterans and face same treatment. I'm going to bring on the 1 trillion that is still from subsidy money. What is one tangible thing that the government is doing with the money? I have stopped to believe APC since 2015 because the truth is not in them. If I prince, what did they use the money recovered from fuel subsidy to do? The government is not working for the people, rather they're working for themselves because they only do things that favor just themselves and not the masses. Their contributions there on Facebook and X will be able to race through. Let's go to the traditional SMS and take some contributions. Mama, I've been physically attacked by sellers and smokers of these substances and my friends. If it's legalized, trouble for the younger generation. Mama sent this message. That's a conversation on Joe's advocacy for the legalization of cannabis. All those burning people's houses due to their politics of bitterness and wickedness, they should have a change of heart. Rivers Civil won't vote for the political party whose thugs burn opposition party members' houses, steal their properties, and make things difficult for the opposition to breathe in the state. Came from Port Harcourt. That's your contribution. Thank you. That's Tinubu will lose at 4 p.m. Okay, I'm is a hollow hypothesis. It lacks rightful thinking and unreasonability in all ramifications. Jonathan Femidro or Machi Port Harcourt. Your contribution. Thank you. Greetings, politicians in Rivers playing politics like we are in North Korea, where the opposition are oppressed, intimidated, harassed, and even silenced in all the name of retaining power. No person is bigger than the people. When the people rise, nothing will last forever. Abraham Tinubu in Rupoku. That's a contribution. The killing of the access is never the powers that be to request for soldiers for the rigging of election all in the name of maintaining peace during election in 5 months. It's a gimmick. What is your name? I don't see your name there, so let's move on. Thank you. God's time for Port Harcourt. What is happening in River State is very unfortunate. I'm beginning our youth not to allow themselves to be used by bad politicians. Also, you commend on Ofobara for his statement, but I'm appealing you should revisit the Query Road Street Act. God's time for contribution. Thank you. This peaceful that River sons and daughters in the opposition cannot come together and hold political meetings without being shot at, killed, or get their homes burnt when members of the Rainbow Coalition meet. Nothing happens. It happened in 2023 and it started again. Too bad. Rashid Awal, Esquire, NTA Road in Boa, the contribution there. Thank you. Which cried in the night, baby died in the morning. Remember one of the secretary ADC members in the LGA just last week, and this is happening and the authorities are keeping quiet. NG, that's your contribution. Thank you. The death in the Goni, why did you join ADC allegedly? Replay of 2015 Amok vis-a-vis Chief Aduba and Juren's death. Watching why he joined the APC by the years was alleged by his wife. Some cannot win election without this gun-boat approach. Cannot, that's your contribution. Cannot believe that you already messaged me on Facebook. I'll read a few more from here. My mentor said NGA should be arrested for deforestation. I'm using it to cook beans now as I'm talking to you. Wow. What kind of life is this? Father of Bayelsa State. I love let's go like law for Ondo State. Advocating to legalize the wisdom leaf created by God. Because the wisdom leaf created by God. Wow. All right. I can do this one from here and then we move. In the president wanted Adeleke to win. Why did the FCC praise the Osun State account a few days in the election without a valid court order? They have to pass the now. At least 3 days before they go and get order. This lawyer is saying they can correct me. And the president later told the anti-gravity just court order of his Nduka. I'm not sure if you know the news, so let me quickly leave you. We'll not correct. Thank you. WhatsApp. Right, we have tons of messages as usual. Let me read as much as I can read. King read a message from me already, so let's skip that. We from Rupago, the video started of shooting. The video uses global voice to scare Tinubu and his APC rigging gang into submission. The video, a one man squad, he won election of his uncle. If not, before read out Adeleke. That's why Dagote, political billionaire Nigeria and Senate president were calling the video, begging him to take down his post. Alright. Comment of my person goes to American order. The action by APC government is unnecessary and should be condemned by all. Should not be allowed to continue. And Harry Esquire, Good morning, Kelly, and all in the studio. Thank you, sir. Thanks to tax advance the House of ADC chiefs in Alo. This is okay. I want to advise the leadership of the ADC to immediately invite Bishop Kuka to the Islamic Peace Committee to come and see things for themselves. The court signed 2 days ago has been valid 7 ADC members in the state. Bound with contribution. Thank you. Gift Joseph. Youth of River State should have a rethink about they being used to destroy and kill the life they cannot create just because politicians. And they should also remember that blood of innocent soul that they wish today will cry against them tomorrow. All right, Gift. Thank you for your reaction. Anyone from Army Range. Tinubu will fail by 4 p.m. election day. Yes, he will fail because his leadership style is too bad. Nigerians. Jamal from Army Range. That's a contribution. Thank you. The political landscape is now becoming high volatile in the state by extension Nigeria. The level of place and destruction hugely worrisome, especially when our security agencies have not stepped up their net and coming and arresting these culprits for bringing the culprit to book. In 2019, this was how many persons were killed, and yet nobody has been arrested. This for 2020 election can be an exemption. Sunday, past Sunday from Rumbo. That is a contribution. Thank you. On guns blazing, please again, bring in situations and begin to teach people that are redemption lie in the International Criminal Court. Whether or not of the United Nations, we have to report. All right. Dr. Dennis Oyagora, that's a contribution. Thank you. This one says hello. I say hi. Regarding the question of legalizing or non-legalizing marijuana in Nigeria, I wish to suggest that this matter should be subjected to a national debate